Blam. Hello! How is everyone doing today? I hope you're going great. Just realized I nearly forgot that I needed to plug my mic in, but everything's fine because it's already working. How is everyone doing? I hope that you're all going well. It's all wonderful to have you all here. Seeing everyone run around and chat's all good. Feel free to spend a moment to suss out all of the great art that is to the right of us all, but we're going to jump straight in because we're running a little late, but that's okay. First up, I'm BurrowsRed. I'm the Dungeon Master for tonight. We are starting up Book Club 2nd Edition, so for any of you who haven't known anything about the book club so far, it doesn't matter. We're starting all over again. Clean slate. It's going to be great. As a reminder for anyone right now, we have some amazing new people who are joining us, as well as some peeps from the old campaign as well. They will go through themselves very slowly as we roll on through. I don't know what words are anymore. You'll get used to this. It's fine. Eventually I'll just kind of start to make sense in some weird random way. First up, we have Terra, played by Friendoboi.
Hello, it's me. I'm still first. I'm glad that I actually checked because I wasn't looking, and then that would have been weird if I just staring off into space. I'm Friendo. I play Terra, who is a half-elf paladin of vengeance. She is tall, strong, and very gay. Hooray! Mel.
I'm not entirely certain how to follow that. Hi, I'm Maleficent. I play G. She's an Azamar Bard Rogue combination, and she's pretty gay. Is this just gonna be name, class, sexuality, level of gay?
Level of gay.
Very.
Wait. Iris is saying you guys aren't here for people in chat. I don't know if that means they can't hear us.
No. They mean, like, you're not here for the people in chat.
I was like, what? What? Oh, no.
Like, yeah, we're all good. We're all good. It's all good.
I panicked.
It's okay.
Anyway, I'm done.
Next up, we have Attenborough, played by CarubiChips.
Hi. Do you like the mustache? Because I don't know. Hi, my name is Chips, and I'm here to play Attenborough. My wife. A human druid that loves tea and biscuits, probably. The gay level, probably very gay. We'll find out.
I love that. Next up, we have Friend, played by CatRoulette.
Hello, my name is Jimmy or Cat, and yes, I play Friend, our, friendly neighborhood eldritch abomination. They're nice, probably. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us for the 2nd edition of Book Club. Very excited.
Also, please ignore me just casually adjusting Rippo. I forgot we still had a Capamon, and it was just sitting above Friend, but like perched on top of the hat. And I was just like, oh, that's not meant to be there.
Put her back! Hat dragon!
I'd also like to apologize in advance for any extra loud noises. I do have a brand new baby cat in here, and she is disruptive. So
Baby cat.
she likes to be on the desk and loud about it, so.
I love that. And then next we have Temi, played by PastelSparkles.
Hello, it's me. Yes, I'm playing Temi, who is a Furbolg druid, and I'm very, very excited to be here with all of my lovely friends. I'm excited for you all to meet Temi because I have fallen in love with her, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. I do things, and I'm here now.
I love that for you. You're also meant to talk about yourselves, so please remember that.
Forget about it.
Yeah, well,
Next up we have Eludere, who is played by Alishiera.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alishiera, or Ali. I'm a content creator for Legacy Esports, and I am playing Eludere, who is a Way of Shadows monk. So essentially, she will punch you in the side of the head, and you won't see it coming. Gay, I mean, Yeah, absolutely. There's obviously going to be an aspect of that. I think that goes without saying. But yeah, I think secretly deep down, it's just always going to be gay, do crime. To one level or another, it's compulsory.
It is the secret motto of the book club, is just be gay and do crime. But, lastly, that leaves you with me. Again, I'm
Not a
BurrowsRed.
secret, just quickly. It's not a secret. That's not a secret, Mother. It's very not a secret.
It's secret right now, because some of the people haven't joined the book club yet. But,
my God.
very, very shortly. So, I am BurrowsRed. I do things. I'm also the Dungeon Master for tonight. So, just a few things to talk about in regards to what we're doing tonight. You can do !world to see the World Anvil page for maps and other cool things. We will soon have lots of updates for things like the new characters, if you do commands, which I believe Pastel's doing right now, and also Kat and also Mel, wonderful human beings, all doing character commands. If you forget, for some reason, who anyone is, you can go suss that out in chat. It's a good time. Am I missing anything, guys? Just for the beginning?
I think the only thing is second edition means if you haven't seen the other stuff, it doesn't matter, we're going to explain it. We're kind of picking up where we left off, but not at the same, like, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, everything that happened is still canon, but it will all be recapped, so we're like self-contained in the second
Exactly.
edition.
That is also another really great point. We're all entering into a new town, new place, so basically treat this as though it is an entirely new campaign. It's just that we already know some of the characters, and we don't know some of the others. I'm just trying to think if there is any possible other thing that we need to think of before we jump into it, but I think we're all set. And with a quick look around with no one with any raring things to say, I think that means that we can jump into the first episode of the Book Club 2nd edition. So, to begin, I need each of the 3 new players, which would be Attenborough, Eludere, and Temi. I need you all to roll a d20 for me.
Oh yes.
Pain in the
First
disco.
roll of the night.
First roll of the new
16.
campaign.
I got 15.
I got a 6.
Okay. So then, we begin with Attenborough. While we jump in, did I just hear a noise? Oh god. Hang on, no, I think we're good. I thought I heard a voice and I was like, we're all fine. God. It's like when you're, if anyone knows this feeling when you're streaming and then you've accidentally left like a stream on in the background and you only realize it when everything is really quiet and you're like, what have I done? But everything is absolutely fine. So, to begin, Attenborough. You find yourself wandering through the forests of the realms. Trees around you as high as you can see, foliage up to your knees in some points. There's kind of dew and debris that's kind of gathered across your clothes. They're dirty, well worn, and you're wandering through, just kind of knowing which direction you're going, but also trying to explore as much as you can. This path you've gone through multiple times in your travels, but each new time you find maybe a new mushroom or something new about the place that you get to experience and study and watch. Would you like to give us a brief rundown of what Attenborough looks like?
Sure. He is human. Brown head, with a mustache. I'm trying to cosplay him at the moment. Is a I can't say he's wearing a shirt, but he's wearing something. Well covered, I guess. I guess he is in the middle of gaining muscle mass. He's highly allergic to like metal. This is interesting to remember. And yes, anti-shirt campaign. Let's go. What else? He's got a pipe that he has with him. He's got a wooden club, a wooden shield in the back, blue eyes, if that's interesting to you.
It's all interesting.
It's all very interesting.
We've thrown you in the deep end. You're the first one who has to go, so it's big scare.
Oh, that's okay. But yes, I guess how did I describe it in my thing? He is like a mixture of like a English person but with a bit of Canadian.
Makes sense.
And a himbo. There, done. There's the
That is the
That's to
app
wrap it up.
description of Attenborough.
Yeah.
So why do you think that Attenborough would be wandering these forests? Tell us a little bit about what brought him here.
He is basically, he used to be like a nature conservatorist.
Yes.
That one. So he's deep into the tree knowledge, and with a bit of the druid background, his, I guess, tribe is called the Elder Tree, and to make it easier to remember, is basically tree is energy. So that's what he's sort of passionate about, and he's wandering around different places to check out trees.
Love trees.
Love them trees.
But yes, the Elder Tree tribe has brought you here, and you're wondering just probably if you were to put yourself on a map, if you cared to put yourself on a map, you would be maybe a few days south from Delwyn as the closest settlement to here. Settlements were never really your thing. A lot of metal, a lot of steel, a lot of moving, and just not really quite your vibe. But as you're wandering through, you're moving through the forest, and you're picking up on those mushrooms and those new things that you've come across. When you hear a sound in the distance, what is your passive perception?
Let me see. Passive perception, apparently 16.
16. It is enough to notice that you hear some footfalls a fair decent way away from you at the moment, looking about 30 to 40 feet ahead of you. And it sounds like roughly from the distance that you're at, there's about 3 individual footfalls that are kind of running away from your direction. And you hear ever slightly just a go, go!
Ah, shit. Okay, great.
So they're running away from you. What do you do?
3 running away from me. I'm love to go away, but should I go investigate? Probably yes.
I mean, yeah, you could just be like, nah, I'm gonna back up, gonna leave. Fuck you guys, I'm out. But you can choose to go forward if you'd like.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be like, yes, you are busy. Okay, bye, and turn away and be on my way. But would that be interesting?
Don't know.
I am on a druid journey to document my experience throughout the time. I'm gonna go check it out.
Okay.
See what they're running away from.
All right. As you get a little closer, you kind of like scope the scene a little, and you're kind of having a look around, trying to see if you can spot anything here that, you know, kind of indicates where they might have gone, what might have happened. But that becomes pretty soon apparent. As you're walking across the path, you see just underneath a bush is a small cat. Black, mostly, with a stripe of white that goes underneath. Sitting there breathing quite heavy, but unconscious. And around its neck is a necklace with an emerald gem in the center that's cracked and split onto the floor.
Oh dear. Wait. 3 people running away, possibly from this cat with this emerald cracked. Could it possibly be a demon? Spooky.
Maybe, who knows?
Okay. Sorry, I'm just writing down notes. I will go and investigate the cat.
Okay. As you do that, you can just kind of inherently see as you look at it that, again, it is unconscious. But it looks to very well be alive. But it does seem to have sustained some kind of, like, bruising to its side. And it does look like the space around the creature was larger. Like, the imprint in the grass and the leaves around appeared to be bigger than this creature's form. So as it fell, for some reason, the space around it was bigger. Almost like this creature had transformed or changed, which is something that you yourself are very familiar with.
I guess I'll have a look at. So it's basically the cat is a crater. It's
Yeah.
Sitting in
Imagine
the,
it like that, like in a dip of like dried leaves and things. You see that there's like a lot of space around it, and the cat's just like sitting in the middle.
Space cat. Okay. I'll probably used to be not a cat. Okay. I'll try to wake the cat up, or like try to see if I can get it back to conscious.
Yeah, sure. Roll me a
stage.
medicine check.
Medicini. Hang on, let me see. Holy shit. It's an 8.
An 8. Certainly an unconscious cat. You kind of like, instead of doing like the thing where you like check its wounds, like make sure it's okay, you just kind of like shake its shoulder a little. And eventually, just out of pure spite, the cat's eyes just open and it looks at you and it starts to hiss. Like a cat does, you know, that really deep, like, throat growl that they do. And it looks very angry with you. And it's looking at that hand that's on its shoulder and it's just like...
That's what it is. Hey, look. I'm not a doctor. Are you alive? I guess you are alive.
And the cat just looks at you indignantly. It's just, like, puts its nose up. And you can see, like, it was quite a struggle for it to do it, but it's just, like, glaring daggers at you.
Daggers. Well... You know what? I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like if like you've ever deafened yourself in a Discord call when you have like a million people in there. You cast Speak with Animals, and before you've even had a chance to secure that connection with it and speak with it, the cat just, who do you think you are? Sitting here waking me up! I was perfectly fine. I had this all covered. What do you want?
All covered! All covered in debris and leaves, my dear.
But you find that a lot in the forest. Where's
Wait,
my
what was
sword?
that? Oh, your sword.
My sword. You took it, didn't you? You want to steal from me.
No, I'm allergic to metal, but you're also not from Dark Souls. Whomsoever are you?
I'm Shadow. Shadow?
Shadow
you know?
the what?
Well, I'm a cat. Isn't that obvious?
Mm-hmm. Okay. A cat.
Is it such a surprise? I have my legs, and I have my tail, and I have my other legs, and the cat looks like it's about to try and, like, raise itself up onto 2 legs. But as it does, it kind of stumbles and falls over, and it's just... And those legs don't seem to be... And it looks down at itself, and it just kind of gets this shocked look on its face, and it does the whole pat down. Oh, something's gone very wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You. What did you do to me?
Nothing. I didn't do anything.
I could walk on 2 legs, and now I only can walk on 4. And I'm much smaller. And just goes to, like, lift a leaf near, and just, like, its leg just kind of lifts up a little and plogs back down. It's like, and much weaker than I was before.
I guess. I just met you. And this is crazy. Okay, I think that... So you were thinking of picking up a sword?
Well, I had a sword. And I had a big shiny gem. It was beautiful. I also had this, but it's all broken now.
And so you were fighting someone?
Oh, I think so. Well, I mean,
think so?
I was looking for something really shiny, and then the next thing I remember, I'm waking up here. So.
Okay, so interestingly, a cat wouldn't have a sword and it wouldn't have a gem that is also now broken. What are you doing here?
I was just looking for things. I had shiny things I wanted to bring back to the book club. But, well, I don't really know where they are now.
I don't know either. Whom's to the book club?
What is your name? Man who woke me
My
up.
name is... Well, I am Attenborough.
That's a very long name. You got another name?
Not really, but you can just call me Atty. It's fine.
Well, Addie, you've been to a city? Do you know the book club?
I've been to cities, but I don't really know a book club. I mean, I've been to a few book clubs and we share different book diaries, but
I don't think they're that kind of book club. I don't think there's actually any books involved. Well, for the inconvenience of waking me up, I think you should take me to the book club.
So you're asking me to take you to a place that I don't even know where?
Yep, nearest city. Let's go. I also can't walk, so you're gonna have to carry me.
Yes, you absolutely can, you lazy cat. You just changed shape.
I didn't change shape at all. Something made me change shape, and I need to work out what that is. And you're gonna help me do that too.
Mm-hmm. Edinburgh just like looking around, sighing.
Just like anyone else. Feel
Like-
like taking this cat.
Any day now. Right. Okay. So, so Shadow is unable to walk, or I mean, just wake up.
He's just like, it looks like he's in bad enough shape that like it would be slow.
Okay. What time of the day is it?
It would be like probably you're looking at about midday, I reckon. Shadow at this point will also do grabby hands, but grabby paws.
Gah! What does that mean, my dear?
I would like you to lift me up now, please. I'd really like to leave. It's very cold here. It's also very wet. I don't like the wet.
I mean, it is. Look, looking up the sky, the clouds are coming. So, okay. Since it's midday, and if you are thinking of going to a city, it's about 3 days to reach a city. So you've been running for 3 days. This is getting very suspicious, little cat.
3 days is nothing. It takes you months to get places sometimes. Travel without teleportations is actually incredibly slow.
Oh yes. Yes, I definitely know about that. You know what? I am getting a little peckish. You can come
Oh, I
with
would
me
love some
to my
food.
little yes. I'll take you to my camp,
Mhm.
and we'll take it from there, shall we?
Okay, let's do that.
Good, good. Now, like, pick up the cat. And gosh, you're heavy. All right, let's go.
The cat just looks at you, and this is at that point when Speak with Animals lapses, and you just kind of have this glaring cat that's like wrapped around your neck. And you spend the next few days with Shadow, speaking, conversing. Shadow tells you that they once were just a regular cat who magically somehow became more than just a cat, but now is obviously back to just being a cat. And they'd really like to not be a regular cat. They want to be a fighter cat who works with the book club. And he's convinced that the book club can show them how to do that. Or that they can help. And so the closest town that you can head to is Delwyn. And as you head along that path, kind of conversing along the way, Shadow will kind of tell you about all different types of places where you can find pretty rocks and really shiny things. And you maybe tell him of some of the places where you can find some really pretty different natural landmarks and that kind of thing. And especially maybe some really nice trees. You eventually reach the town of Delwyn. And as you're kind of moving through the town, you kind of come across the local tavern thinking, you know, this would be a good place to sleep, place to stay. It's where regular people like to stay. You see a notice board at the front of this tavern, almost as though it's by some miracle that these planets have aligned for this very moment. You see a specific announcement. Now, give me a moment. It's been a hot minute. I haven't been in this chat for a while, but essentially, you see a notice board of the book club looking to recruit new members, and that they'll be here for the fight club in Delwyn. And they're looking to recruit people through interviews. At this very specific tavern, you also see a bright sign that says Fight Club, 3 days.
Fight Club 3 days. Gosh, people living in the city are living on the edge. Far out. Okay.
Shadow
Okay,
at this
great.
point is just like leaning off of your shoulder and just like swipes the like paper in front of you and just kind of plops it on your face.
Why?
As the paper like floats to the floor, Shadow just looks at you and his tail starts wagging.
Oh my god. Okay. I'll like read the paper and go like, ah, this is the whatever club that you were talking about before.
And we'll just nod in your direction.
And obviously you want me to join. Or find your friends. Is that correct?
And as you say friend, we'll also like nudge you as well. Over the last couple of days, you've become quite close. Shadow even has come to like get to a point where he's even curling up in your sleeping bag whenever you go to sleep.
breaking my sleeping pattern.
Yeah.
How dare. All right. I'll like read the details of the pamphlet and I guess finish my drink and go and check it out.
Yeah, fair. So, and that's where you wait, in the tavern in Delwyn, for 3 days for the book club to arrive. So next up, according to dice rolls, we move on to Eludere. Before we specifically go into Eludere, we need to introduce a region, a place, that we haven't talked about before. So, for a little bit of information, the book club campaign mostly takes place in a place called the Diminishing Realms. It is a series of places and cities and towns that are built into the mountaintops of the Frostlace Mountains, just north of Ostholos, which is the greater continent. All of those things, we're relatively, getting to know the different places. Exclamation mark world gets you there. But this place is much further than that. In fact, further north than nearly any humanoid species has actually mapped or explored lies the city of fuck. I practiced pronouncing this, I kid you not, like 10 times, and I'm just like, no. Brain has a shortage. Emprenea. That's gonna be where we're going. Is the city of Emprenea. The only actual location further north than this city is the Dragon Glade, and the dragons are very reluctant to give out any further information of what lies beyond. The city of Emprenea stands amongst mountains that stand levitating and held above the ground. There is a giant golden palace that sits atop a central mountain that in the distance, in the very far distance, you can see the green glades of the Dragon Glade from beyond. But this great golden palace is circled by at least 4 fairly significantly different regions. The one that we're focusing on for the moment. Tell me about it. Tell me about House Lunalatus.
Yes, well, Eludere is from House Lunalatus, and it is the northeasternmost region from the capital city of Epinea. It is very cold, often overcast, and on the days that it's not overcast, around at least the main manor of House Lunalatus, there are many pergolas and patios covered in wild bramble that do a shield from the sun, because the family that resides there are drow. and against what people would think would be instinctive of drow. They are trying to reconnect with their roots of their sky origin of elves. So they do reside above ground, and it's a beautiful region, very cold, but very welcoming to not just elves, although elves do predominantly reside there, but every humanoid folk and beast folk alike.
Yeah, that's a perfect description of House Linolatus. We begin in the main house. You can hear someone in the distance barking orders, not in a mean way, in a very delegatory way, just kind of speaking with different aspects of the house staff, just kind of going here, there, dinner, lunch, preparing all sorts of things. And it is at this point we see Eludere emerging alongside her sister, Liara. I believe I'm saying that correctly. Let's just double. Yep, perfect.
Yeah.
Love pronouncing things in a fantasy universe. Beside her sister, Ayara. Eludere, would you like to describe yourself?
Yes. Eludere, as I said, is a drow. She is tall for a drow. She's about she's about 5'6" and a half, 5'7". She is clad in, it is to most people probably seems relatively formal, but for her is travel attire, a fitted sleeveless tunic and a tailored cloak with thigh-high boots, all in varying shades of greys and pastel purples. Any adornments are either silver, or there are a few amethysts that are encrusting different parts of her outfit, and small embellishments of blackberry flowers kind of strewn across as well. She has white hair fading down into a soft lavender ombre, like my hair, which was just done today. And she has, probably her most striking feature is she has purple eyes, but her pupils are white, not black.
Yes, so you emerge beside your sister, looking fairly similar to you. I will save you the trouble of explaining by giving that apt description, so that you don't have to spend the whole time being like, would you like to regale us with the details of what every single person in your household looks like?
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm crazy.
So Aara is kind of speaking with people around you, and you see just a few steps behind is the visage of Talayura. Yep. The steward. She's a charcoal grey minotaur with, I believe, some fairly striking horns, if you'd like to fill us in on those.
It does. Her horns look like polished moonstone.
And yeah, so she emerged behind. She has like a top that's done right up to the top. It's tailored and fitted, and is just, as Ayara kind of speaks messages to her, you see that she will just nod in different directions towards other people who have clearly heard the conversation. You see each of the members of staff are kind of lining up in their preferred positions beside doorways, by different entrances and exits to other rooms, and just generally preparing themselves for the day. Ayara, though, looks stressed. She looks a little frazzled. She looks really tired. But she looks to you and she's just, did you have to go today?
You know, if I keep delaying, I'm not going to go at all.
Oh, this would have been so much easier. I'm going to be so sad to see you go.
I know. But you know that you're going to handle this better than I could anyway.
I still don't believe that, but I think that you'll do an excellent job. So, how are you going to do it? How are you going to find sword?
I'm not sure, actually. I have a couple of leads, but whoever's taken it, they've shielded it from scrying, so that's out the window. From what information we had, they've taken it south. So, looks like I'll be making my way towards the realms.
Your little
now.
minions can't tell you anything? Your little spies and things?
There is only so much an intelligence network can do outside of our country, and looks like they've taken it beyond the borders.
See, this is why you should be in charge. You're so much better at managing all this. And then she turns and she looks at someone else and she looks back to Eludere and it's just like, wait, we're not doing that today. We have something to do tomorrow. Please remind me what we're doing tomorrow. And Eludere will just, you have dinner with the other houses. Right. Dinner. Tomorrow. Brilliant. And as Eludere begins telling Ayara of all the different houses that'll be there, she says Cirrus, Arcturus, Remery, and then stops for a moment before saying Solaire. And Ayara will look to you very quickly and just, have you spoken with him?
In passing, yes, I have.
I mean, it's awfully rude that he isn't going to come and say goodbye, at least.
Probably easier for both of us.
I just don't get
Anyway.
it, dear. I don't get it. But I believe in you.
Well, anyway, Diver will most likely be going to the dinner tomorrow, so you can pass on my regards to him.
I will certainly do so. And she has a very customer service face on.
And remember, aristocrats don't need all of their teeth to talk, so if any of them give you any trouble, well,
I'll be sure to remember that. Not for the dinner tomorrow, though. I plan to be quite nice, but maybe next time.
you know, it just always helps me get through a meeting remembering that.
It's, rather than envisioning them all naked, it's envisioning them all without teeth.
And inflicting the lack of teeth on them, yes.
Very satisfying.
Mm.
I'll miss you, dear.
I'll miss you too. I hope this won't take the better part of a couple of centuries, but it's a big continent.
Hopefully. Luckily, we live for a while. It'll be fine. Look.
Yes, it's been 40. Anyway.
I'll keep in contact. I'll make sure I pass on any information I know. If we find out anything else about the sword. Or that big rock you have, for that matter.
Yes, that will be interesting to see if we can find more information about that.
Well, and you see, like, it looks like she's, like, on the verge of about to cry, but she just stops for a moment and she's, like, holding her back up straight. And then she'll just, like, throw her arms around your middle and she's just like, I am going to miss you so much. You need to tell me everything about when you go and just give me so many letters. You can send me letters, right? Like, you can...
Yes. Yes, I will send you letters. And remember, if anyone asks where I am, we're acquisitioning new properties and mines in the realms.
Acquisitioning new properties and mines within the realms. I can remember that.
She'll just like take Ayara's hands and just look straight into her eyes. You are Ayara, Lucilensis Lunulatus, daughter of Evelyn and Telerenda Lunulatus. And you have this. You'll be fine.
Thank you. Exactly what I. Well, goodbye. If I say goodbye one more time, I'm gonna cry. So, please get out of my house. Go shoo. Go run off, do your adventures and stuff.
It's still our house, but duly noted. And she'll just like tap her on the back of the head and she'll make her way out the side exit.
Yeah, you see like a little curl in front of the back of her head, just like flung forward, and she's just like, ah. And then she goes back to like kind of ordering everyone around, and Telly-Laura is just like, have a good good journey, have a good safe, have a good journey. English is
I
difficult.
will.
And you head outside. And you head off, going to leave the lands of your family that you leave fairly often, but this time with a little bit of a heavier heart. You kind of look up to the sky and you see that it's just about to begin to rain. You can kind of feel the small little droplets that are kind of falling on you. And as you head out past, walking for what feels like forever, your lands are quite expansive, for sure. You finally get to the outer gates, and the rain is really starting to fall. You kind of pull your cloak up and just kind of protect yourself a little. When you hear a small voice behind you. I thought I didn't know if I should come. And you see a taller man appears from beside the gate. He'd kind of been leaning against it with his foot up beside. And you see him approach you, and he just like instantly is drenched in water as he kind of enters into the rain beside you. He goes and he grabs your hand, or at least he thinks about it. He goes to grab your hands, and then he just stops himself and kind of awkwardly lands his hands on the side, and he's just... I'm sorry I didn't come sooner.
Don't need to apologize. Halcyon.
And you look and you see a man before you. Would you like to describe him for me? We won't make the whole house, but we'll do him at least.
So he is a tall elf. He's about 6 foot. Long flame red hair tied in a messy ponytail that is over the shoulder. Tan skin and piercing, just eyes like polished blue topaz. And very, very formal looking kind of attire, the same kind of definitely from nobility, dusty orange tunic and deep grey blue cloak with gold embroidery decorating it.
You're really leaving today. Couldn't wait for... And he just kind of stops and isn't really able to, like, finish his sentence. This is very uncharacteristic for you. He's usually the joker. He's usually the funny guy. And at this point, he's just vulnerable. Sad.
Halcyon, you and I both know that I need to go. It's not going to get any easier whichever day I go.
Can't we just pretend for a moment you didn't need to, that none of the things that happened with your parents happened, and we could just do what we wanted?
Ayara and I can't pretend that our father is still alive, Halcyon. And until I'm back. I will forever be reminded how much of a failure to them I was, so I can't pretend.
I will repent for my family's contribution to your father's death for the rest of my life. I understand why. I understand why you have to go. But I just can't help but wish that it was... I wish that none of this had ever happened.
Augustine and Rivera may have been your parents, but they don't define you and not their actions. But that doesn't change what was taken from my family.
And you see at this point, like, his jaw stiffens and, like, his back gets a little straighter and you can kind of see some kind of wall fall down. Yes. I will remain and pick up what pieces I can. Their betrayals. Hopefully, at some point. The future, at some stage. If ever you're in some parallel universe or anything like that. Maybe then I'll come with you.
I look forward to that eventuality, and she'll pull out her family locket that she has around her neck, and take it off, and she'll just pull a single piece of hair out and coil it up and put it inside the locket and just put it in his hand. If you ever need to find me, I'll be waiting for when both of us are ready.
I'm sorry, Eludere. Oh, I've said it a million times, but I am so sorry for what happened. And I will do everything I can, my uncle, to repay the debt that we owe to you, family.
Thank you, Halcyon. I think I should go now, though.
Of course. And he looks like he wants to say like a million things more. Like you can almost see like he's struggling to think of like what even to say right at this point. And he just kind of holds the locket in his hands. Just like as though he's holding like a small baby bird, like just very delicately. He just looks to you. He waits. If you leave, stay for a moment. He'll just watch.
She will just take his hands that he has clasped in the locket and she'll gently press his hands against her heart, and then she'll smile at him and she will leave.
He will smile in return. You see that a few little tears run down his face. Just the cheeky ones, you know, like the ones that come from like one eye that's just like, I've betrayed you now. You've never again will you do this to me. And yeah, you turn, you leave. He just stands, waiting, rain. And you look back maybe 100 feet down the road. You see he finally looks back to you. And as your eyes meet from that distance away, he'll finally turn to leave. Head off. Before snap disappears from you in a bright light as he teleports out of there. You begin your adventure. So, normally, this would be where we take break, but we did start a little later, so we are actually going to do Temi's little intro, and then we'll go on a short little break for you. So, how we going? How we feeling? How we tracking? Everyone's good?
I hate romance.
Hate it. Yeah, it's
I'm
the
no longer a
worst.
slut for romance. I'm done.
You say that, but we're just about to get into you. I'm gonna throw all the hot men at you, just like bam here, bam here.
Stop this!
All right. Last but certainly not least of the new groups to the book club, we begin with Temi's journey. Now, Temi's journey begins slightly differently than the rest. Not in the middle of anything at all. No middle action, no traveling, no anything. In fact, you're comfortable at home, sitting asleep and lost in your dreams. It's on a night where, as you spend a moment to look up at the stars, you see them in all their glory. You see bright lights for as far as you can see, glittering the sky in an array of color that's not seen, in fact, anywhere on the material plane. That's because you're on the Feywilds. As you look around, you see a lot more color and brightness than what you'd see normally on the material plane. However, Temi, you don't know that. You live here. This is very normal for you. This is just daily life. And as you're sleeping, your dreams are sweet and swift. What do you think Temi would be dreaming about?
She'd probably be dreaming about spending time with her family. Probably spending time with her grandmother, doing something special with her. Maybe just something really basic, like learning how to knit or something. Just very wholesome.
Something very cozy.
Yeah.
We love that. And yeah, so as you do that, as you're drifted off to sleep, that kind of knitted rug or whatnot in your dreams is just kind of finally coming to the end. And you have that nice, wonderful dream. You wake in the morning. Tell us about Temi. What does she look like?
Temi is a 7-foot tall furbolg. She is quite young for a furbolg, but she's around like 30 years old. She kind of looks like a very tall blue Viking. She has white wavy hair that's like full of braids. And she wears a beautiful purple cloak with like moons and stars all over like everything she's wearing. Yeah, she's prettily dressed, but it's like practical, if you know what I mean.
I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you wake in the morning, you walk out, and it's that very quintessential morning of just like, I'm having a great time, the day is good, it's gonna be a great day kind of vibes. You wake up in the morning and you feel like you could take on the world. Don't think I've woken up like that in like 10 years, but I hear it's a feeling. But you wake up, you kind of wave off to each of your family members as you kind of move through the small house that you have. As you exit outside, and you're kind of immediately met with the kind of coldness of the mountains that you reside in. This is entirely unintentional. No one at all planned this. Everyone organized these things individually of each other, so any kind of likeness to each other was not made purposeful. But the place you reside in is Lunaris. A small place atop an icy mountain in the Feywilds. As high in the sky as what possibly could be. And as you kind of look around, kind of a little bit of a chill in the air, you look and you see there are a load of your fellow clansmen gathered around your grandmother's home. And you see they're kind of muttering amongst themselves and just kind of causing a little bit of a commotion. And as you stroll on over, you see that Scarthy, your grandmother, a taller but older, well, not taller than you. You're quite tall, but 6'7" is still ridiculously tall.
We all tall here.
Yeah. So she will kind of be sitting by her bed, and you kind of see like the open door there. There is a group of people beside her who are just kind of like they seem to be supporting her and just kind of raising her up from where she is. And kind of you hear mutterings amongst the people around, and they're just kind of seemingly a little bit unsure. It's like that moment before, like, that gives you curiosity. You're like, what has happened? What is going on here? It's the moment after a big event. And as Scarthy moves through the house and is brought out to the front door, she looks to you, Temi. She gives you this sweet smile. And then she comes over and she grabs your hand and she leads you over to the table. It's just kind of like a table that's set up as it's like the equivalent of like a park bench. It's just kind of sitting there and ready for anyone to use. Your grandmother does this a lot. She tends to be quite cryptic with her requests and her messages. She tends to just kind of be like, I'll show you when we get there kind of person. But you feel her hand, and her hand is warm and nice, as you've always remembered it being. But as you look upon her, you see that she's tired. And you see that her skin is a lot more weathered than you remember. And it kind of hits you in that moment just how long she's been with you. But she still is. You still feel that warmth. You still feel that niceness from her. And as she moves to this table with you beside her and everyone else kind of gathering around, still being just weird peepers, she stops. She goes to address the town. Now, just for my benefit, because I swear I saw it before, what was the name of the clan's seer?
Good question. He's no longer in the list. He is unnamed. He is the seer.
He is the seer. Okay, perfect. So your grandmother waddles out and she leads you to this table, and then this seemingly somehow like 100 years older, just kind of those people where like just age takes them and runs with them, just kind of wanders out, and he's like adorned in like ridiculous trinkets and just over the top completely. And he wanders out. He looks to you also, Temi, but he looks also to your grandmother, and he stops for a moment. And everyone's just kind of like, what is going on here? Like, everyone is being so cryptic. And the seer stops for a moment. Will they stop for a moment? Because I had to remember which song was on just then. I had a vision last night. It appears a new clan leader has been chosen, and there are murmurs amongst the crowd of all the people who have gathered. At this point, your family has also come out. You see in the distance the image of your best friend Bjorn, who's just kind of standing like above, like just kind of like, what is going on, and why is Temi over there? Just kind of completely oblivious. More himbos, we love it. But you do know what the impact of that statement is. Basically, in Firbolg culture, when a seer sees a vision of a new chieftain to be picked, it means that death is imminent for the current one, which means that is essentially signifying that soon your grandmother will die. And so you hold her hand tightly and she just looks to you and she's still got that really bright, warm smile on her face. And she just holds your other hand as the seer begins to continue to speak. Or at least he tries to, until your father just kind of comes up to the table and he comes to the side and he puts his hand on the table in that kind of like weird way that some people do where they just like lean on a table when it's really unnecessary to do that. And oops, sorry, punch my mic. So what did you see? Who was it? Do we know when it's going to happen? What? And just kind of begins ranting off these incessant questions. And you kind of hear these all mirrored in the people around you. Your clan isn't overly large, but it isn't small either. And you see that in the faces of the people around you is just generally curiosity and more questions. As the seer stops you all for a moment, or stops them all for the moment, I should say. I have seen one among us who will bring the past back to propel our future. I shall show you. And the seer stops for a moment, moves his hands, and as Scarthy places her hands on the table, moving them from yours, Temi, you see that magic pours from the seer's own hands, moves to hers, and together in the center forms a vision. Basically a small television that gives you the vision that the seer saw. In that vision, you see the clan appearing in kind of like this silhouetted kind of way. It's very clear that it's them. A lot of the crooks and staves and things are very reminiscent with a lot of moon imagery and such from them. But then you also see a hooded figure approaching with a small, bright mushroom. And as that figure approaches and gets closer and closer to this image, and everyone is just watching intently, trying to get a better look. There are people kind of like fighting from the backs, like leaning over each other and they're just knocking each other over. There are maybe like two like teenage kids who are just like, they've knocked one and then they've started to get into this little tussle. The image becomes clearer for the person approaching. And you all see before you the image of Temi with this small bright mushroom in their hand. And you see them walk up to the clan, and then an ethereal form of your grandmother, Scarthy, comes forward to accept that token. And as that mushroom passes, you see mushrooms glow in the place around, I've got to get pronunciation right, in the place around Linares. And you see mixed in with that language that you haven't seen before. That kind of appears around it, saying different words. Amongst that also Vedic and other such languages that you maybe know, maybe don't know. But essentially, the vision has chose you, Temi. That's what the seer says to you. Your father, for a moment, looks disheartened. Everyone else around you is kind of looking to you. Scarthy moves her hands back from the table and places them on yours. It's you, Temi. You're next.
Why me?
Well, the visions tell us who comes next, and they've chosen you.
I think Temi would be just overwhelmed because I think even though she knew that her grandmother's time was coming to an end, this now means like it's rapidly coming to an end. So like as exciting and confusing as it might be to be in this position, that means that the person that she loves the most is leaving.
She looks up at you, and she's just got this really bright smile on her face. I know you'll do very well in my position. Don't be sad.
I'll do my best.
We'll see each other again. Once my time here is done, I will join you on your adventures. I'll help guide you back home.
And I think Temi would look to her father, who is not happy, for guidance as well. Just trying to read his face, trying to see what he's thinking, because I think the last thing Temi wants is for him to be disappointed with her.
He looks to you and you do get that for a moment. Just a moment, though. It's kind of like he's also processing the news. He looks to you and his eyebrows are furrowed and and then he looks at you and he looks at his daughter, who is clearly also feeling similar feelings to him in shock and not really processing. And he jumps back into dad mode. Well, we'll have to work out the specifics, but it'll be you. Moon has chose you. Let us prepare, Temi. Shall we? Shall we prepare? And we'll look amongst Scarthy and the seer. And they'll both nod and they'll whisk you away into a house not far from here. And as you kind of enter on in, it appears to be the seer's hut. Seer is a bit of a self-proclaimed healer of sorts, in the sense of like just having like an assortment of things around there. Like, it's a mess. It would be like the equivalent of walking into like Hal from Hal's Moving Castle, like in his bathroom. Like, it's a time before it's cleaned. Like, it makes sense to him what's going on in there, but to everyone else it's just like, I don't know. But as you walk inside, they sit you down and they speak with you a little about specifics of what that means. They tell you that this means that you will be the next chieftain. That once you complete this journey and you bring this artifact, this icon back to us, that you will then be ready to do what you need to do for your clan. And then the seer will look to you and give you a little bit more information. The mushroom that we saw in the vision, it is a mushroom from the material plane. It will be no easy journey to get there. The last we remember where any of these mushrooms were seen is in the realms, Diminishing Realms in Ostholos. These mushrooms were used by the Laslethi. Though for a while we haven't felt their connections. They were used to find hidden passages and such that only they knew. They were very useful to them. And last we traded these with them, they were very useful to us. So, your pilgrimage begins. Are you ready?
Yes, I think it's time.
Each new chieftain only has a moment to prepare, but you can take as much time as you need here to say your goodbyes. Then you must be ready to leave.
I understand.
You can take as much time as you need to go and seek out this mushroom, but we do ask that you do come back in a decent amount of time. Do come back with it. And also your father will add, and do come back alive. And your father will stop. Oh, sorry. Go
No,
for
no,
it.
no, no, go for it, go for it.
Your father will add to that. He will say, I know you've been practicing, and I know that you're strong, and I know that you can do this. While you're gone, I will watch over the clan. But your grandmother may not be here when you return. It's best that you say your goodbyes now.
Okay. Yeah, the first person Temi would want to say goodbye to, I think she would want to keep her grandmother for last, because I think she wants to have like a really meaningful moment with her.
Mm-hmm.
So probably Bjorn would be her first person she would like to say goodbye to.
So yeah, as you get up and you go to leave, just like quickly run out, and you see like Scarthy is still in the room, just kind of looking and smiling at you. Like she sees all, but does not comment on much. And as you head out in search of Bjorn, Bjorn is not very far away. He's just standing by the front, and he's just like, "What? What just happened?"
I barely know myself. Guess who's going to be in charge here?
I mean, if it was going to be anyone, I definitely did think it would be you.
Oh, did you?
Yes, you are very capable and very strong. Yes.
You could say you didn't believe in me.
Temi,
It's fine. I didn't think that I would have this role either. I don't know what I'm gonna do without you.
Well, a lot of traveling, I'm sure. You'll meet lots of people and you'll probably forget all about me and everything like that.
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I'm at least seeing you to the material plane. Like, that's a done.
Oh, good. I expect you to.
Good. Damn straight. I'll go start packing now.
Good.
Good. All right. I'm gonna go. And he does that thing where he's like talking to you as he's like walking away. And he goes and rushes off to his house, and he just starts, like, you can hear like the noises of like him throwing shit around in his room, just like fucking going ham. Who would you say goodbye to next?
I guess my dad. Yeah. Mostly because I feel guilty. But not because I care too much.
You're just like, wow, this is really exciting for me.
Yeah.
He's just like, pain. But yeah,
deception.
Disgrace. Anyway, you go over and you speak to your father, and he walks out of the home and he goes to speak to you, and just he grabs you by the hands, and he just, yes, goodbye's a road, I suppose.
I'm so sorry. I know how much this would have meant to you.
None of that, Temi. None of that. I'm not the one who decides who's the next chieftain. It is interesting that it skipped a line, but I am older than you are. You'll have a lot longer to do this than I will.
Thank you for putting your hand up to look after everyone while I'm gone. I promise I won't be too long.
It's the least that I can do. Do take your time, though. Venture, enjoy. Once you be back, you won't have much of a chance of that, so...
Thank you.
Fine. Be safe. You're strong, but you're not the strongest thing out there.
Well, have you seen me be a wolf?
I have seen you be a wolf. I've seen you take a fair decent chunk out of many things around here.
I'm not responsible for the hole in the longhouse. I've told you this.
There's a very inconspicuous little bite mark in the side, and I'd like to think it's not you, but we all know.
Maybe.
But yeah, he just like clasps your hands, and after a while of just kind of bantering backwards and forwards, he'll just give you a big hug before heading back to home. And it looks like he is kind of like gathering some of your things from the front, like your staff and all of those kinds of things. And did we actually go over what you look like? Did we do that?
Yeah.
Have I? I just spaced for a whole.
I didn't
second.
have weapons, so
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
why.
say
That's why I
weapons.
was like, wait, hang on. Did we go over
Yeah.
that? He goes and picks up your staff, this crescent-like staff that has lots of moon imagery on the side. And he goes and brings it inside, seemingly to start to begin your packing. Who would you say goodbye to next?
I think it'd probably be time to say goodbye to my grandmother.
Mhm.
I'll do like one of those big family waves to the rest of the clan.
Everyone else is just like very nice, very polite, you know?
Yeah.
Unimportant. It's all good.
Yeah.
They're not the named NPCs. But yeah, you do go and see your grandmother, and she's just coming out of the seer's home, and she looks up at you, and she's still got that really big smile that used to irritate you as a kid, because you would just speak to her, and she would just let you talk and talk and talk. And it's kind of at that moment where you realize that she always did let you talk. She was always happy to listen. And it's at this point where she does more of that. She just looks to you, Miles.
Do you know how long you have? Could I make it back?
I don't know. I just go when the night takes me. I don't think I have long.
I love you so much.
Love you too, Temi. And you had this very, very sweet moment. Definitely no tears involved. And you just kind of get to press your heads together for a moment. You are both being very tall. And as you kind of pull apart, she'll look back to you, and I know that you will make a great, better than I will.
I'll try my best. I'll bring even more than you've asked. I just want to be even a little bit as good as you were to everyone.
Well, you had me to teach you. Of course you'll be just as good, if not better than me.
Yeah, I think Temi would just kind of linger as long as she could, holding Skadi's hand, until I guess she feels it's time to grab her things and skidoo.
And, yeah, like you kind of see, like, as you're kind of looking, or like as you kind of go to move away, and as you're packing up all your things, you see that your grandmother is just like 2 steps behind you the whole time, standing in doorways and moves out of the way as you need to and all that kind of thing, and just like just is constantly with you for those moments where you're packing to leave. And then it finally comes to the time. You've packed, your bags are on, you have your staff with you. Bjorn is by your side, eagerly, like, the man is on coffee or something, I don't know. But, like, this man is, like, ready to go. And Scarthy looks to you for one last time. Your dad behind you just kind of speaking with some of the clanspeople. And she will look to you and she will hold your hands. Look to the night, Temi. For then I'll always be with you. An owl or bird. You'll be there, under my light, always.
I think she would just do one of those big bear hugs, like just it doesn't
Yeah.
want to let go, you know, like just like holding on for dear life because she knows, like, Temi knows this could be her final moment with her.
Yeah, she just returns the hug as best she can, and like, despite the fact that she's quite old, she returns that hug fairly decently. You come out of that embrace, and you're like, "Ow,"
Grandma's strong.
like, oh damn, like. But yeah, you have that moment together, and you just get to look and embrace for that moment, and then you head off on your adventure, wandering down the mountains of the Feywilds, and as you move through, you see all sorts of different creatures, which to you, fairly regular. For everyone else, these things are fucked. And as you eventually get further and further in, you're kind of traveling through what seems like this kind of twisted forest. And as you move through, you pass through rivers that kind of stream down in like this iridescent glow that moves through. Bjorn the whole time just cannot stop talking, like incessantly. He's basically just like non-stop from like the part that you like started and to the point where you're gonna leave. He just hasn't stopped talking. What kind of topics do you feel that he would tell you?
I think he would be talking about like battle strategies. I feel like all that he thinks about is like weaponry and like, oh, this would be the best tactic for this. And like he's just got a million imaginary scenarios in his head and he's just kind of trying to like bounce them off of Temi, and Temi's just yep, like excited for him, but like can't connect in the same way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and like kind of as you're heading off, he's kind of like kicking at the ground a little, like not kind of dejectedly or anything, but just kind of like trying to entertain himself. And he's like, do you know that some places, when they bring their armies in, they just build stuff? Like there's stuff that didn't exist before. Like what kinds of things could they make? And like the kind of benefits, if you just, you know, ran up and you just built your own siege weapons, like of course it'd be so much easier to hold your ground. Don't you think so, Temi?
Sure. I mean, you could just turn into a wolf and the element of surprise.
But that's not as fun. What if you're a wolf that lives in a weird wooden castle? Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, well, I suppose. New house, grand designs.
It's always wolves with you. It's why you part wolf sometimes.
I don't know, just feels right.
Watch out, you start sprouting fur everywhere. There.
I hope not.
And there. And he just kind of like is like jokingly like pointing at like the spot under your ear and like just to like the side of your cheek. And he's just like, ooh, and then maybe on your nose. Hair everywhere.
Why?
Fur
Why?
everywhere. Calm down. But yeah, he just is genuinely just kind of joking with you.
Yeah, I think Temi would be very appreciative, even if the conversation is like maybe silly. It's like taking her mind off of everything. So,
and that is kind of his intention, even though like he would never ever admit it. He's always been that person that just kind of something bad happens and he's immediately just trying to make fun and just kind of make you laugh, make you smile, and just kind of make you feel good. And it's as you get some ways into the Feywild Forest, it's been a few days at this point, you find that you're lost. And Bjorn will kind of look around, he's like, no, we've been this way, haven't we? We need to just go a little bit further. We've also seen that tree. Do you know where you're going?
I've never been to the material plane. So I'm just following my heart.
That's certainly a way to direct us, but we might really need some directions. Is there any way that we can find something to... I'm just gonna go walk over here. I think that, like, I don't know, I'm feeling with my heart and I'm feeling it's over this way. So he just kind of wanders off from you for a moment. And you just, like, you can still hear him talking. Like, it's not, even when he's gone from vision, he's just still chatting away. Just cannot help himself. And as you're kind of doing that, you kind of get to sit for a moment. And then you hear some voices around you. Small ones. And, well, I say voices, but small noises. Instead, you hear this symphony of just small little pops. Like someone is doing the pop cat, like, just around you. What is your passive perception?
15.
15. It's decent enough to notice that there are small lights that are kind of gathering around you. They're increasing now that Bjorn's gone.
I guess she would want to, look around. See here, like, find the source of the pop.
Roll me a perception check. Find the pop cat.
So that is a 16.
16. One more than passive, but that's okay.
Yeah, baby.
It's enough to notice that there is something following you. From just off the side of the road, small, bright baby blue mushroom has little legs, tiny little legs, and as you look back to it, it just drops. And its head, it brings its head down, and the popping stops.
Temi would kind of very cautiously walk toward it, I think. Get up, walk toward it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna cast Speak with Plants.
Okay. As you do, you feel that connection click between yourself and this small mushroom. What do you say?
Hello? What's your name?
Hello? Oh, you're very tall.
Yes, very tall. You're very small.
I'm the biggest in my whole family. I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you?
I'm very tall.
Wow. Where do you come from?
I come from around here.
Oh, I am looking for a way to get to a place. I'm not sure if you're familiar. It's the material plane.
I know the material plane. That's where I'm from.
Wow. Would you be able to take me there?
I could definitely do that. It's not very far. You're very close. But you're very
Oh.
lost.
Oh.
Going the complete wrong direction.
Oh. Well, lucky I found you.
Well, you know, that's really nice and all, but like, I think it's nice that I found you.
Oh. Well, what can I call you? You can call me Temi.
I'm Mr. Fuck, what's his name? I'm Mr.
His name is
Todlington the
Mr. Fuck.
Brave.
Toddlington the Brave.
Todlington the Brave. I'm not Todd, I'm Todlington.
Okay. Well, that's a very, very beautiful name. Very heroic name.
Yes, it's very heroic. Most heroic I could have ever chosen. What's your name again?
Temi.
Temi. I like you, Temi. I'm gonna show you through
I
the
like
gate
you.
now.
Oh, I guess Temi would quickly look and see where Bjorn is, because as far as she knows, he's off doing grand designs.
You can like hear him in the distance, and like as you kind of like yell out for him, he's just kind of off somewhere, and he's like, "What?" He just comes back, and he's got like a few sticks in his hands, and he's just like puts the sticks down, and he's like, "Why do you have a mushroom?"
This is Toddlington.
Todlington. And the small little mushroom just kind of like seizes up again and just like brings its arms in and brings its legs in and becomes a little mushroom in your hands. It just flops to the side.
He knows the way.
And he'll kind of like unfurl himself and he'll look to you and he'll just be like, "That one's really loud.
Bjorn's loud.
Tell him to shh."
Okay. Bjorn. You're irritating our friend.
I didn't say anything.
You've said far enough.
I don't really know what that means. Are they gonna help us? What is happening?
He's from the material plane.
He's from the material plane. He definitely looks like he's from here.
Well, I mean, do we really know what people from the material plane look like? I haven't seen any.
Good point, but I just feel like they wouldn't look so Feywild, you know? It's like
Yeah.
just a lot to him. And Toddlington's just like refuses to speak when Bjorn speaks to him, but will look up at you, Temi, and he's just, "I'm from the material plane, but I live here. I came there first." Tell him that. I'm not telling him.
And Temi would relay as kind of like softly as she could, because she's still kind of unsure about this. She's speaking to a mushroom.
A very upset mushroom.
Yeah.
Bjorn is just like, I can't. But after a while, Toddlington will point off in a direction, and after a while of traveling through the forest, you do kind of find that you're like backtracking along paths that you've already taken. When suddenly, like kind of you turn a corner and you felt like it was just going to be more and more forest, but instead you open into a clearing. You see the wind kind of blows, and as you move out from the forest, you see it's kind of one of those strange little pockets in the Feywilds where the environment changes in a blink. It's as though you've stepped through a portal of its own. And you see before you a large old tree with a small gap in the middle center. And as you look to it, Toddlington just keeps pointing and keeps pointing. He just says, "You have to put your hand on the tree and then say thank you, and then you can go through."
I think Temi would. She, like, it's a huge moment, right? So
Yeah.
she's kind of like, unsure. Even though she's here now, it's like everything is gonna change. So she'd like look back at Bjorn and kind of like reach out to him, just like kind of like a kind of a pat on the shoulder, but kind of a bit more meaningful than a pat on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And I'll see you soon.
See you soon, Temi. I'm gonna miss you.
I'm gonna miss you so much. You can write to me.
Can I? Can I send?
I don't know. We'll find a way.
We'll make it work. We'll make it work. You know, if it's been a long time, I'll come looking for you.
Okay.
Can't leave me for that long. We got lots we need to do together. Even when you're a big fancy chieftain, we got so much we need to do.
Yeah.
And he just kind of like places his hand on yours. It's kind of like patting him on the shoulder. Miss you a lot, Temi. Haven't spent any time apart for as long as I've known you.
Yeah, I'm really gonna miss you.
Better bring back plenty of stories and bring back maybe some people to visit. I don't know. Tell me what
Maybe
the material
Toddlington
plane's
will come
like.
back.
Yeah. And it just looks down
You're
at the
getting
tiny
along
little
so
mushroom.
well.
And the tiny little mushroom is like got his arms crossed and he's just staring up at Bjorn. Just like every time he opens his mouth, he just kind of like gets angrier and angrier in that kind of cute little mushroom way. Maybe you and Toddlington will be back. Maybe you'll leave him there. Who knows? And Toddlington just like, and you see like his blue-black like mushroom cap goes a tiny little bit red as he gets angry. And yeah, you have that moment together. Is there anything else you want to say as your last goodbye?
No, I think she would just kind of want to get it over and done with after that. She doesn't want to linger, doesn't want to be awkward.
Yeah, that's fair. And so yeah, a few seconds later, you go up, touch the tree, say thank you. And then the tree, in a way that didn't seem possible, but is more than possible in the Feywilds, shifts. And a portal appears behind the roots that move to part and present you with the pathway. As you enter in, see as your hands brush through this portal that's bright in color, you then feel yourself fall onto the other side. Only slightly, like you were stepping onto a small ledge that you weren't quite prepared for. You awaken and you see that you are in more woods. The ground is kind of wet around you, but maybe possibly another, gonna say like 100 feet ahead of you, there are some small lights. Dimly lit, but still enough that you're able to see them. And we'll kind of like transition that into you making your way to Delwyn. When you follow those lights, you come to the small fairy town of Falur. You speak with some fairies there, gain some knowledge, spend some time with them, ask some questions about these mushrooms and meet with them and such. They give you information on some places where they think they've seen Lith shrooms. Mostly, they're all to the south. And they say that the closest human settlement or humanoid settlement is Delwyn. Just immediately south from here, only by a few days. So you begin your adventure down south to Delwyn. Toddlington has a great time in Falur. There's plenty of mushrooms for him to run around with, and he pretends to speak to every single one that he sees, and is always dejected when they don't speak back. But you head south towards Delwyn, and after a few days, you manage to find your way into that small town. and you head to the tavern because that is the place where everyone goes first. Don't tell me that you don't. You always got to go to your hotel first when you go to a new city. You go there first. You see the brochure upon the side of the tavern, inviting new people to the book club. And for some reason, you don't really know why, or maybe you do. What would Temi feel about seeing that?
I think she would be very curious about it. I think having spent time with just Toddlington, she probably wants to speak to some people that seem well traveled because they might have more answers for her.
That is very true. It also gives you the opportunity to do more. You can see a certain kind of like heroic aspect to this call to action. And that part invites you as well. And as you kind of look at it, you realize that the Fight Club is only a few days away. So you decide to stay in this small tavern. And then that is where we transition to a break, having introduced each of our new people. So my throat is just being fucked. It's just like the whole time. But anyway, now that we have introduced Attenborough, Temi, and Eludere, we move on to a break. We'll be going for a very brief moment, I promise, before we do the actual full meeting. I'm very excited. All right. So while we're gone, do we have a cool question for break? It's always a tricky one.
If
How
you were
much
a
did you
sentient-
cry?
Oh, yes. That's a good one.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah. Let's go.
But all right, we will be back very, very soon. It was a how much did you cry? Was that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that. We love pain for us. But yes, we will be back very shortly. Appreciate your face. Still be here though. You have to be. It's a requirement. Bye. Bablam bablam. Welcome back. Okay, so we've successfully gone through some, I would say brief, not very brief, intros to each of the new characters. But we do still have 3 characters remaining. So jumping straight on in after introducing Attenborough, Temi, and Eludere, we jump instead to Friend, G, Terra. Each of them having left Adenigand in order to head to Delwyn themselves, they headed off to, now correct me if I'm wrong with any of this, they head off to the Dragon's Tower in order to schmooze, socialize with their ever-growing collection of dragon friends who reside there, and they utilized the experience of their friend Book in order to teleport them a little closer to Delwyn. So in total, from the day that they left Adenigand, it takes them 5 days to get to Delwyn itself. The party having never been there before, Book kind of just like waving them off on their way, and he just like kind of stays for a moment. He's like, I don't know whether to stay or whether to go, and then he's just like, you know what? I'm a piece. And he goes and disappears. The rest of you head on into Delwyn. Now, Delwyn itself is a city that is cold, almost to the point that it's icy, but not quite. Just off in the distance, you can see icy peaks just across a half-frozen lake. The city itself is built half into this lake and also half out of. But the main collection of houses and things that people actually stay in appears to all be on land. and it is also surrounding there is a stretching cat in the background. Good girl, big stretch. Very important. Uh, but and as you look, you see that there is a tavern that is bigger than any that you've seen in any other city. You also know that this will be the place of the next fighting tournament held by the Hellfires, which you were invited to when you were in Corwald. And, as luck would have it, that fight is coming up in the next couple of days. So... just some more scrims. And as you get closer, each of you kind of enters into Delwyn and sees the city for what it is. And you kind of see a lot of the people around you are strong, hardworking. But before we get too much into that, let's go through each of our characters individually. For interest's sakes, let's start with the first two being Terra. Would you like to describe yourself?
Oh, heck. All right. Terra is she's 5'9". She's half elf. She's muscular, but she's lean. Not like not like a stick, but like muscular, but it's not like, anyway. It's important for some reason. She has short white hair with sort of a bit of an undercut on one side, but it's kind of been growing it out a little bit over the course of their traveling to about man bun length. Trendy. And she has two sort of prominent scars on her face, which is what this is supposed to be one of, but I realize it looks just like a really skew-iff little mustache, but it's fine. It looked better when I did the test makeup yesterday. So yeah, sort of one across her cheek and one that goes across her lip. Dark eye makeup. Face kind of not necessarily in a scowl, but kind of brows kind of furrowed, sort of looking around, attempting to perceive whether she sees anything. Well, we don't talk about that. Anyway, it's fine. She has dark armor, which is kind of charcoal colored, and it kind of has a oil slick iridescent shine to it. It's well maintained, but you can tell it's not decorative. It's the real deal, baby. And she's got a red cape that's sort of fastened with what looks like a fancy pin, but the ends of the cape are kind of getting a little bit tattered over the course of the travels. And she carries kind of 2 bags of equipment. She's got a dope silver shield and a bright red sword and a dagger kind of on a leather belt, positioned kind of not like where you probably normally have it on the hip. It's positioned a little more around to the front, so it's prominent. And if anyone looked closely, they'd see a fancy royal emblem on it. That's about it.
Perfect. And following, I'm sure, very close to the side of Terra, G, would you like to tell us about yourself?
No.
No?
Yes. No, of course. I just, words. G is an asthma. She's got ridiculously pale skin. It kind of shines a little bit like it's pearlescent. She does not look quite human. She's just that little bit of... It's just quite right. She's got incredibly bright blue eyes that also just a little bit not quite right, and dark blue hair. She's very, very pretty. Most of her personality. She wears a lot of dark colors and lace and daggers. There are a lot of those. And she's quite... I don't know if you could tell it from looking at her, but she's a bit spoiled. She likes things to be the way she likes things to be, and when they're not, she's just like, no. Sorry, I looked down at chat. I had asthma growing up. Can I be part of the gang? Is it a gang? It's gone away, but I used to have asthma. She's about 5'5", slightly taller because she wears big boots, and she's wearing a big black cape that doesn't really go with everything else she's wearing. It's got like, if she goes like this, it looks like bat wings, which is fun.
And big old fancy boots.
Oh yeah, and boots with like little wings on the heels.
Yeah, definitely didn't make any mistakes at all giving G magical items.
She can fly in multiple ways now. She was never meant to.
And following decent ways, but like still within eye range, is Friend. Tell us about yourself.
Friend is probably wandering a bit further behind because they're staring at everything with a bit of like a childlike wonder, but also like an intense sort of curiosity. They are eye rolls, so today their appearance does change day to day, on like a sliding scale between G, their warlock, and a random person who they've seen in the last 24 hours. Today they look like their warlock, which is, I guess, the truest thing they have to like a base form, who is a tall elven man, and they also have multiple eyes like this, but not always, just today. Yeah, they have a very large witchy type hat, very floppy large hat, and black robes, and sometimes you might see, oh my god, my cat is having a time. You might see spiders crawl maybe like out their sleeve or their collar and then like back in somewhere else, it's like scurrying around. And yeah, lots of little like trinkets. They have all sorts of random shit in their pockets that they found and picked up. Things that died in their vicinities that just ended up in the pockets. And yeah, they're just having a good time. Much like my cat.
Your cat is having a great time. That's the important thing. I will just could I get a quick sound off in, okay, so it looks like my Streamlabs is dying. Can I get a sound off in chat if everything is going okay? Because it's just frozen, but everything is still moving. Once we get an okay, we will continue. Sound is okay? Does that mean our movement isn't okay?
It looks okay.
Okay, as long as it's
moving on the screen.
working, I guess that's the important thing. Everything else is fine. I just can't click on anything. I don't know. It's broken, but it'll be okay. Alerts and cams good. Everything is working, but my screen is frozen. I love that. If that changes, sound off in chat. Let us know. Like the timer for like how much it's recording is just stopped. It's really great. But I can still see us move, so that's the only thing that matters. Anyway, Friend, you are staring at everything on the side of the road that you can possibly see. You having a fairly decently high perception, you can see a lot of small things, and especially in the break. I read chat. That's my fault. In the you look around, and in the places around Delwyn, you see that there is a lot more of kind of like there are a lot of colors throughout the realms in like the creatures and the trees and such. And around here, you see it's a lot more muted. There's a lot less color around here. You even see in a few small places a small little gathering of snow in the form of small little snowflakes that kind of sit on the tops of small leaves and things. You kind of start to begin to feel that chill in the air. And as you're kind of looking around and such, you spot the literal most perfect snowflake that you have ever seen. This is also possibly the first time you've seen snow, but this one singular snowflake you have just pinpointed and found, and it is great.
Friend will like just not tell the others that they've stopped walking, but just like go over to it and just like hunch down and get like really like close and just like stare at it. I guess until it starts to melt, and then they'll just grab it and a handful of whatever is around it and put it in their pocket.
Sure. And as you're just kind of like breathing onto it, the snowflake just kind of slowly melts, and like the outside's going first, and it's still like the internal structure, and you think it's gonna hold on for it, and then it's just immediately just into water. You pick up that dirt, you pop it in your pocket, and you see a small head pops out of one of your pockets and just like shakes off and then looks up at you and just like huffs in your direction before settling back into your pocket.
Oh, you.
And you just see this like small little flame that picks up from the side of your pocket, and your small little baby fire salamander is just like goes back into sleep. Yeah. But yeah, you head on in. You see Delwyn in all its glory, or not so much of. You know a little bit about this place. It is predominantly a like fairly robust town in the sense of like a lot of the people here work really hard to do what they do and make what they make, and it's not necessarily a place of trade, but it is definitely a place of building and resources. You know that a lot of people do a lot of fishing from the lake, and such being the only really big main water source for the realms, despite the fact that half of it's fucking frozen. But it is also, in its own way, just still small town vibes, but big country land. Big city land, sorry. Like Adelaide, except a lot colder. And as you walk on in, you see the tavern ahead of you that's just decorated to the nines, ready for the fight club. And you see the familiar writing of your own notice on the notice board amongst the fighting club announcements as well.
Sorry. What is the name of the tavern?
That's a really good point. We're going to go with the Tainted Tendril.
I like that name.
It's alliteration. It's the only thing I can do. it's my trick.
Questionable, and I'm super into it.
But it's huge. This is a huge tavern, much bigger than many others that you've come across.
Wow, big place.
I suppose that's where we'll be staying. I forget if we've established it or... Wait, no, we teleported. We don't have horses. That's okay. So I was going to be like, wait.
Oh, I would have imagined that you
Teleported
teleported
with
with horses.
Okay.
You would have gone to the tower, picked up horses, and then brought them with you when you teleported with Book.
Okay.
You managed to fit through like 20 people. You could fit theoretically 20 people in like 6 seconds. I think we did that maths once. So you can fit through horses. You just had to kind of do like a bit of a run-up gallop as you were doing it.
For some reason, my brain has gone completely blank. Just I don't know how to talk anymore. If we look around, do we see potential tournament fighty people outside?
You see not a lot of anyone, mainly for the fact that it is getting late into the afternoon. You expect that a lot of people will be inside ready to have drinks and such. See a lot of like footfalls that have fallen around the outside of the tavern doors. It suggests that this place is probably pretty packed.
It's drinking time. We just, if everybody else is drinking, we should be drinking. Maybe.
We should find the horse house first.
I was going
Horse.
to check.
Horse house. For the horses.
There's a horse.
If it's a tavern with like accommodation in it? Is there a stable attached, or do we have to find an alternate stable?
No, you imagine that like it's something that you would organize on the inside. You'd have like a hitching post out the front. It's very like Red Dead. Like you would hitch up your horse and then go inside, and then you pay for your accommodation, and you go out and put your horses away, kind of deal.
Okay.
Well,
Very much a step-by-step thing. Yes, sorry.
No, you're right. I was gonna say, I will ask Salathiel to look after the other horses and to ping me, page me. Is that what it feels like? Like a beeper, like whatever.
Call
anyway.
me, beat me.
That's the one. I was like, the Kim Possible theme is playing in my head.
Yeah. If anything goes wrong.
Sure. Salathiel will look back to you and in his own horsey way, just... What does Salathiel look like?
He,
Over $10, only on the MyMac.
I actually unlocked my phone. It just instantly played an ad. Thanks, McDonald's. We're not sponsored, by the way.
Unless,
Send us nuggies and chippies.
please.
And more of those cups that swirl round and round.
Ooh. But yes, sorry, Salathiel, yes.
we're professionals. We've been playing D&D with professionals. It's fine. If a horse could be described as a Chad, Salathiel would be that horse. He sort of has the build of a Clydesdale, but he's like he's cool. Like he's not a jerk, you know. Like people look at him and you think, oh, that's a Chad horse, but he's cool. He has good vibes. His eyes kind of glow a little bit. Probably like G's, because he is a celestial horse. He's a magic horse. And he's kind of, yeah, like he's just sparkly and pretty, like, but probably like not as sparkly as G. Like he probably, if you were given his coat of brush, you'd be like, oh, you got some sparkles there, babe. Like had a lush bath bomb with the glitter in it, and it's still there. It's working out great. So, yeah. Anyway, Chad horse.
That's how I'm gonna describe G from now on, by the way. It's like she just got out of like a really glittery bath-bombed bath. Like, it's just
yeah,
stuck there.
Mm.
She's not like coated in glitter. She's not like a Twilight vampire. It's just a sheen.
It's not coated head to toe in highlighter, it's just bath bomb.
Although I did do that one time for cosplay purposes. It was messy.
That sounds
Literally
like
had to replace my keyboard.
Yikes. Anyway. Yes, so Salathiel will nod in your general direction and lead the horses away together as you kind of head on inside. And as you do head on into the tavern, you see that it is, as you expected from all of the footprints outside, packed to the brim. There are people absolutely everywhere in this place. And as you're kind of getting a bit of a moment to kind of settle in, see what's going to happen, like where everyone is, that kind of deal, you look around and you see that there are only a few tables remaining, and that this room itself, despite the width and breadth of this tavern from the outside, the actual drinking area is not all that much. Because as you enter, you see that the drinking area is only a small part from the beginning, and just past that, off in a railed section that's unable to be accessed to the patrons currently, is an expansive amount of fighting rings, specifically designed for fighting, or more specifically one large one, similar to what you found or what you would find in, say, like a boxing kind of, I don't know, I don't go to boxing places. I don't know, there's just a big old fighting ring that is just literally inside the tavern. This is the one place that is specifically designed for boxing and hitting your friends. But at the moment is currently roped off to prevent drunk patrons from just deciding to hit each other. Though they can do that in the bar still. But the tavern itself is fairly dimly lit. And there's like only a couple of small little like lanterns and things on the walls and from the roofs and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it's pretty dark and it kind of smells a little musty in here. But it looks like everyone seems to be enjoying their drinks. Everyone's having a good time, and you're welcome to do whatever you need to once you're in here.
Is anyone punching each other?
Oh yeah, good question.
Currently, no one is punching each other. So at the moment, it looks like pretty much every single person in this entire tavern looks like they could take someone on. Like, you said that you were looking for people who would be capable of fighting in a fighting tournament. Every single person in this room is capable of fighting in a fighting tournament. Every single one. There's no shirt to be found. This is a reference to, of course, if someone is not wearing a shirt, therefore they are hot. Specifically men. I think you also don't wear shirts.
This is
crop
the
tops,
opposite
it's fine.
of the no shirt, no shoes, no service. It's like, if you're wearing a shirt, you don't get a drink.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, you kind of have a look around. You spot a human in one of the corners speaking with what looks like a cat. And you look into another corner just further away, and you spot a very tall furball just kind of cradling a juice in their hands as they're kind of just sitting in a booth in the corner, seemingly alone, with a tiny small mushroom on the side of their shoulder. But that is all that you currently see as you enter on in. What do you do?
Point at Temi. Just point. Mushroom, mushroom. I can see it.
He's gonna grab friend's hand and like pull it down, like, you can't just point at people in a place like this.
But the yes, I can. Can you see it?
I see the mushroom. I see the mushroom.
I'm going to go talk to it. Goodbye.
You know what, sure.
So you head on over to Temi's table. Do you just like sidle up into the seat, just like, yes, hello, I'm here to speak to your mushroom?
No, just like, you know the like Robert Pattinson who's just standing in the kitchen, like just like Stan is like looming over the table, just like looking at the mushroom.
So friend just
Hello?
Robert Pattinson. Yeah.
It's like it stands.
Hello?
Not you. Just point at the mushroom.
Oh. His name's Toddlington.
Toddlington.
But Toddlington wouldn't hear friend, would they? Because they're a mushroom.
They also don't understand
Yeah.
common or any other language except when you say speak with plants. So friend would just be kind of yelling at them. So Toddlington, I don't imagine, is doing that thing where he just goes into shock and he just pulls all his legs in and just like flops over.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. What's your name? Looking over to friend.
Friend, are they a person?
No. They're a mushroom.
But are they a person kind of mushroom? Because did I see that they had like little limbs?
You can see that they have very
Yeah.
distinctly little limbs. They've just tried their best to hide them in like tucking their legs up and like folding
Little
their arms in.
knobs.
Yeah.
You mind? She doesn't mind. Yes, baby. They seem like a person.
They're a little shy.
Are they your friend?
Yes, I think so.
You seem nice. What's your name?
Oh, my name's Temi.
I like you. You're very tall.
I like you. You've got a lot of eyes.
I do. You have not so many eyes.
Not so many, no.
That's okay though.
I have a mushroom though.
You do. I have a mushroom too. pull out like a very old mushroom that was their breakfast like maybe 2 weeks ago. It's like just shriveled. No. Yeah, just like a shriveled little like dried mushroom.
But yeah, a friend offers you the mushroom, and it's at this point that Toddlington will like, he's kind of like at this point like fallen to like basically on the table and is just still lying there. And as friend offers the small mushroom to Temi, will just kind of like sit back up on the table and just kind of opens its eyes and looks and just like cocks its head a little and is just very curious and is looking between Temi and friend and back. Cat's like, the one space that we need to see.
Can I communicate with them telepathically?
Do you have an ability that will allow you to do that? I think
Yes,
you have
but they
some
do
funky
have
stuff.
to know. They do have to know a language.
Cast it. We'll see if it works.
It's no, it's just an innate ability.
Oh,
I can
sorry. Yes.
communicate telepathically.
That's a
with
Pact of the Tome thing, yeah?
Mhm.
So as you speak, or as you like look to this small mushroom, you feel an invisible tether kind of links between you two. And you find that it's like opening up a new conversation with someone. The DMs are open. What do you say?
Hello.
Hello. It says back to you.
Are you friends with this big person?
I am friends with Temi.
You like them?
I do like them.
Good. We can be friends.
I don't know if I want to be friends with you.
It's too bad we already are. But I meant Temi can be friends.
Maybe. You're very loud.
You're very mushroom.
I am very mushroom. My light's just like, I would like to take you out now.
The power of my mind.
Friend sabotaging me. Stay, please. Oh god, there we go. Okay, I fixed it. Fine, I guess you can be friends. I want to be friends too, though, if you're going to be friends with Temi.
Yes, we can be friends.
How many more friends are there?
A lot, honestly. It's hard to keep track. I have 2 here.
Oh, 2's not so bad. I can deal with 2.
3. They'll pull the lizard out of their pocket.
And just looks at the lizard and is just like, and just like does the shock thing again, just legs up, arms in, just like, and just like flops over.
And they'll start rummaging around for like handfuls of spiders.
And as you present more and more animals, it's like Toddlington just like blank stare, just like, but it seems like you're having a conversation. And while you're chatting amongst each other, G and Terra, I would like you both to make a perception check, please.
I don't know why you bothered to ask me, to be honest. Because we both know how this is gonna go.
I want to give you an opportunity, you know?
9.
Oh, oh, Terra.
17.
17. All right. You look around the bar. You see each of the people who look very capable, but also at the same point, you can't help shake the feeling of eyes upon you. But you look around to try and find where they're coming from, and no one is looking. Not sure why.
Yeah, that's fucking unusual. There's always someone looking at me.
Everyone else seems too intent on just arm wrestling and general messing around. Everyone else is having a great time.
Imagine Terra doesn't see anything because she's probably distracted and like maybe distracts G a little bit by like whispering like, remind me that I want to retire here because this is the best tavern I've ever been to. Everyone wants to fight. This is great.
Doesn't exactly share the enthusiasm, but she'll be like, sure.
Okay, sweetie, good for you. That's nice.
It's nice that you have dreams.
But yes.
Wish they were a little less stinky and sweaty.
But yes, you see Friend is conversing with the furbog in the corner. How will you be setting up your interviews, by the way? What are you going to do for that on that front?
Did we not write that in the paperwork? I would have thought I thought we said something like meet us before the fights at some point in time to be, I don't know, assessed.
So
I know that nobody actually like wrote down a list of what the thing said, but in our advertisement, I thought it was like, hey, there are going to be fights and we're going to be here and we want people.
So
Oh
this
no.
is currently before the fights. This is the point to decide how you want to organize these meetings. Like, what specifically are you going to do? How are you going to appeal to people? You see like a sign-up sheet at the bar that's like, this is for the fight club, and you see that there are quite a few names there. And then you also see on the side of that a sign up for the book club meet. And there's like 3 names.
I would imagine that probably what Terra would have had in mind is I don't think she would want to go like asking people. Like, I feel like she's like, with how dangerous and how kind of world ending what they're trying to do is, like, I feel like, well, I mean, at least in her view, like, she would only want people who know who they are or like to like come find them, basically. Like, people who are just gonna be like, oh yeah, I don't know, maybe sounds fun. Like, no, we don't want that. We want like full commit. You're getting the dog on the mushroom tattooed day 1. Like, so.
I get you completely, but also, how will you make yourselves known to this tavern? If you want people to come to you, it's not like you're waving a banner that's like, here's the book club. How would you like to get the attention of people in this tavern?
Fighting ring, fighting ring, fighting ring.
What, like a pre-fighting ring, fighting ring?
It could be.
I mean, yeah, we can attempt to negotiate with the bartender, probably not the bartender, the tavern owner, I guess. If we can borrow the ring for interview purposes.
You see that there's like a small sign. It's kind of like when you have like 8-ball tables in like a bar, and it's like gold coin for cues kind of deal. You see that there's like a gold piece for use of the fighting ring. And there's like ask staff for keys kind of deal.
If I mean, if it's not too busy at the bar, if I go over to the bartender person.
Yeah. You find someone there. A dwarf is behind the bar, short hair, but really long beard.
Love that for them. Excuse me, hi. I'm Terra from the book club. Do you mind if it's very loud in here. Do you mind if I stand on the bar and make an announcement real quick?
Oh, you're mighty more than welcome here. I saw your announcement at the front. Good to know that you finally got here. We weren't sure when you were exactly coming on in, but we're glad to see you here. Happy to have you make an announcement all you like. Can't guarantee they're going to listen to you, but you can certainly try.
I will see.
Before she starts her speech, when she gets up on the counter or whatever, can I Play the horn of dooting.
Yes, we will still assume that you haven't attuned to it, just on the off chance that it blows up. But just in case it did, it would be pain and death. So yes, you certainly can use the horn as just a regular horn. So this is your opportunity. Friend from the other side of the room, seeing you, Terra, leap onto the bar, ready to make an exclamation to the crowd. Friend pulls out from their pockets a slightly dirtied, but fairly readily available horn and doots. But instead, it sounds horrific and also magical at the same time, but not dangerous, is the main thing here. Which seems to kind of gather the attention of everyone around. It does mean that when you make a charisma throw, so either persuasion or performance, either which one that you feel, it is with advantage.
You also get a point or a D8 of bardic inspiration because I was going to do that before the dooting.
Oh, heck.
Go yell charismatically.
Charismatic yelling. Afternoon. I'll keep it short. I'm Terra from the book club. You might have seen the flyer. If not, dangerous mission, important, money, blah, blah, blah. Read the flyer. I'll flip the bartender a gold piece. But it's probably not like a cool dexterous flip because my dex score is 8, but that's fine. We're going to be over in the fighting pit over there if you want to come talk. We don't accept cowards, so I expect any of you that approach us to have any guts whatsoever. Thanks, I guess. And then I'll...
Okay, make that charisma throw.
He's going to follow that up with a whole load of, like, prestidigitation sparkles.
Yeah, love
I'm
that.
so glad we sent the most charismatic of us to make that speech.
Well, she's the most fighter looking. So, like, we're like, hey, fighters. We need the fighter to say the fighty thing.
It could be an intimidation. I'd be okay to rule that.
It's my specialty. Wait. For a
You're
second, I
ascending
panicked.
to being a threat over being hot.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm also hot.
Yeah, yeah.
Red D,
God.
red D.
God, which of you bastards do I trust? Alright. You know what they've been like lately? They don't like me. Okay. Here we go. That's another 9. Go away. That one. Oh my god, that's a 4. Okay. Well, in total, that would be 17 plus the D8. Oh god, math. 17 plus 6.
23. Nice.
20. How did
That
I
is
salvage
a
that?
very good roll considering that it could be much worse. But so Terra, you address the crowd, and for a moment the crowd goes silent as they watch you. Specifically also Temi, Attenborough, and somewhere, not quite sure yet, Eludere, you watched Terra approach and stand and address the crowd. And you're all listening to her make this speech. You see someone move over to unlock the fighting pit, and you see groups of people sitting at the tables, and they're just kind of like avoiding eye contact. They're all listening very intently, but this room full of strong people suddenly feels a little less confident. And as the book club moves to go out to the fighting ring, friend, I'd imagine you come over as well from your position with Temi. You see that there are only 2 people who come with you. But for Temi and Attenborough, do you go in then? Especially now that you've interacted with friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even more exciting. So Attenborough, the human at the table speaking with his cat, Shadow is just like patting you furiously on the shoulder. you will head up in order to go and have some fisticuffs. Temi also, you will head over as well. Eludere, would you return over there as well?
I mean, she'd move across, but she probably wouldn't actively show herself.
Okay, okay. Good to
Just
know.
loitering.
Good to know.
The shadow just is like slowly getting closer.
Yeah.
So as you move into the fighting ring and kind of the festivities start up again and everyone starts speaking with each other and just generally chatting and whatnot, you all head into the extra, more spacious area for the fighting pit. And you see that comes in behind you Temi, the person who friend had been speaking with the mushroom. Just kind of sheepishly coming in after. Attenborough, just fixing yourself up a little, shadows around your shoulders, just like staring at everyone in the book club. Two others also come with as well. One is a burly human man. The other is a tall elven man with both of them with like rather long hair, quite dusty. The burly man, he doesn't have a shirt on because that's important. But also the other man, he kind of has these like nice, neat clothes with these like nice, like kind of weirdly tight pants. It's very like Outlander-ish clothes right here. And just this long like orange-red hair that's just neatly tightened up into a bun. But they prepare. And you kind of swear, probably for G and Friend with the highest passive perception, that you see a little movement of the railing before it's closed behind the barkeep. But you are within the fighting pit. You have 4 people currently in visible range of you now. What do you do?
Friend will, to G and Terra, point out Temi, be like, my friend!
Lovely to meet you. Are you here because of the speech or because friend brought you over here?
A bit of both. Mostly curious.
Nice. We trust them. Don't hurt me, please.
Is that to Temi or to G?
Both.
Temi.
I will cast Zone of Truth, 60 feet. Oh no, this is gonna be. Oh wait, no, they're not all NPCs. It's okay. For a split second, I was like, wait. I don't know why I thought that. Anyway, because there are only 2 NPC men. So it's a. Well, we'll see about that. I don't know what that means. So it's a 15-foot radius sphere. I'll just center it on myself. Charisma saving throw. But I guess it depends if they're within 15 feet. I hope so.
So I have 114 and 119.
Okay, the 19 succeeds. The 14 fails.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
Charisma, right?
Mm-hmm.
A 6.
14.
That would also apply for G and Friend, but you can also opt to just not.
22. Not answering any questions I don't want to answer.
I was
Friend
just
would
checking.
choose to fail.
Not even an attempt, just like, yeah, I'm fine with that.
It doesn't say anything about like creatures that can see or whatever. So if Eludere gets closer, but it's It lasts for 10 minutes, and if they start their turn, they're blah blah blah. I know whether creatures succeed or failed. Affected creatures are aware of the spell and can avoid answering questions, but yeah, boundaries of truth, blah blah blah, whatever.
You see the spell settles on the heads of each of the people who failed the check. You see it settles on Temi, Attenborough, Friend, and also a few other people in the crowd. The burlier man, it seems to settle on his head too, that kind of like same orange glow, but not on the other. And also, no indication from the shadows either. But your spell has settled.
Sorry about that, it's just a precaution. It's nice to meet you. I'm Terra. I will hold out my hand to Temi for a handshake.
Yeah, Temi will absolutely enthusiastically shake back.
If Attenborough is nearby as well, I will hold my hand out for a shake.
Oh yes, how do you do?
Well, thank you. Have you seen the flight?
Oh yes. Actually, this cat over here, which is like here, it's very eager to meet the book club. If you remember a character, his name is Shadow. I don't know if that rings any bell.
And you just see this cat like
Yeah.
eagerly staring over Attenborough's shoulder, but looks completely different to the
It's like
shadow that you met.
leaning so far in.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah.
does he look different in the sense that he looks like a different cat, or he doesn't look like a cat that is wearing gear and walking around?
Yeah, so that's the thing, is it's like before it kind of looked like a younger tabaxi, whereas now just looks like a regular cat. But there's the same kind of colorings. Like, you know, it's the black with the white stripe through the center.
Would we recognize him then?
Probably not. Like, you would now that Attenborough said it, but it wouldn't have been like, you wouldn't looked at the cat and gone, yes, that is Shadow for sure. But now that Attenborough said it, you could believe it.
Friend will just stare, and all their eyes will blink at different times.
He'll do the thing, the gif with the cat and its butt waggles while it's staring.
What happened to you?
And I believe that you can speak telepathically with it now that we have established that.
ran into the door.
Oh my god.
You fucking idiot.
Oh no.
Shadows is like, out of here. But Shadow will look to you and just, I don't know. I got hit over the head. Now I'm here. Find you guys.
Who would hit a small cat?
I don't know. I do think I was after something they had, though.
I'd believe it.
He had a very pretty gem, and I wanted it.
Why did you find us? Why do you want to find us?
Well, this isn't what I normally look like. I want to be me again.
I don't know how to do that.
Well, you seem to go to lots of places, and I figured that I could just, tag along until we find a place that can help me. And I'm taking Addie with me.
Who?
This guy. And we'll just, nudge.
Oh, your person?
Yes, my person. He's mine. His name is... You might need to ask him.
What's your name? Friend will stop speaking telepathically to the cat and start talking via mouth with Attenborough.
By a mouth.
Via mouth. My name is Attenborough.
Attenborough. I like that name.
Thank you.
Shadow is our friend. If you're Shadow's friend, you're our friend.
Oh, lovely.
Do you know
That's
that
very-
you belong to him?
No,
do.
but I guess that's fine. He's just like wide and his eyes going like. Mhm.
Shadow's just licking
That's
his paw,
lovely.
like.
What? I didn't do anything. um. Okay. What is your name?
I'm friend.
You're a friend.
Yes.
And we're now friends.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
yes,
friend,
that's
your
lovely.
friend. And you're my friend.
Lovely. That is quite pleasant, isn't it?
Yes.
Hmm.
And friend will turn to Terra and G and be like, he's my friend too.
Terra's setting up this big elaborate, like, let's screen them first. And Friend's just like, I like you.
They're coming with us. The cat and the man and the cow and the mushroom.
I'm not a cow.
Poor Temi.
Oh, thankfully, she only called. Well, they only call me a man. That's fine.
I mean, it's a bit of an insult.
It's the worst thing I could think of to call you.
I mean, that's fine. And this cat's person also now. Wait,
She
does
will
that mean
turn
I
to
get a
the
salary?
two-
Shadow. I want a salary.
How much does the cat pay?
Shadow's just like pretending not to look. Like,
The cat's going like this.
yeah, just like ears flick
Um.
back, knowing that you're calling it, but just like refusing to look at you.
Gotta grab onto this cat onto the side and go yes. Anyways. So apparently you are also a friend. And your name is? I'm sure it's not Cow. So sorry.
You can call me Temi. I'm not a cow.
Oh no. Oh my god. Well, it's nice to meet you, Temi. Well, I guess we're all just standing around this this ring.
Are we still going to fight?
You hear the burly man just like, yeah, when are we gonna fight? I heard there was a fight.
Sorry, what's your name?
Good point. I had a name and then I was like, I don't want to use that name
Burly
anymore.
man number one.
I literally had
Man.
Man.
his name is let's go with
Manfred.
his name is, look, honestly, he means nothing. His name is Manfred now.
Manfred,
now-
got it.
Manfred. A Manfred.
Oh dear.
I've decided I'm taller than him, so I will peer down at him. I just
Yeah,
magic.
yeah.
What would you say your purpose is in life, Manfred?
Hit stuff.
Right? Anything beyond that?
Hit stuff again.
I don't think this is gonna work out. I'll give him a. How much does beer cost?
Like,
Like a
I don't know, like
silver?
a silver, yeah.
Yeah, I will give him a silver. Have a nice evening. Thank you. And kind of shove him.
Oh, sweet. Beer. And just goes to the bar. Just grabs a beer.
He will turn to the other dude and be like, do you have life purpose? ambitions and goals beyond hit stuff, drink beer?
I do have plenty of life ambitions beyond drink stuff and hitting beer. Wait. I feel like I got that wrong.
You got the drink stuff part right. I'm not sure you're meant to hit beer.
I don't know. I don't drink it myself, but it's lovely to meet you all.
You too.
What's your name?
My name's Ralifir. What's your names?
I don't want to tell you.
Well, I saw that you had a very interesting flyer. I did see that the book club was coming to town, so I figured that I would take the opportunity to introduce myself.
Do any of us recognize this guy? Something is ringing a bell in my head.
You do not recognize this guy.
He's not one of the pictures in my head from the Talkie Stones with the bad guys.
No. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. He doesn't ring those kinds of bells.
Okay.
There are no bells being rung for your character currently. But he does seem very interested in joining the book club.
Why do you want to join us?
I think that you would be an interesting group. I also heard of trouble, and I figured follow where trouble goes, I'm bound to find something exciting.
I'm sure you could get just as much excitement from learning to knit.
I'm sure I could, but I'm a very capable warrior too.
Do you think we're the trouble? Or do you think we just know where trouble is?
It just looks
It's a
to
very
each of
important
you.
distinction.
And he's just like, I think that you're very much the trouble.
She is flattered.
How do you know about us?
Well, you left a large flyer at the beginning and your friend announced yourselves to the entire bar. I figured I'd come introduce myself. Find a bit more about this dangerous work that you'll be doing together.
No, you haven't heard the stories.
I mean, I've heard bits and pieces of the book club, but it's mostly just gossip, nothing really to write back home about.
But I like to hear them.
Suddenly less flattered. And what do you do? Capable
I
warrior
can
is
fight.
pretty standard.
Can also cast magic. Very capable. I also don't see many others lining up around.
We weren't planning on recruiting an army. We don't need
True.
100 people. We can afford to be picky. What kind of magic?
Also,
I hate that I'm asking you that because I know you hate schools of magic, but what kind of magic?
He will tell you that he does a mix of magic. Like, there's not a particular school that he is specifically armed in.
would you say that your biggest selling point is there's not a lot of other people here?
I mean, I definitely think it's an advantage. Look, if you're not interested in hiring me, that's fine. You asked.
Have you never
if we
been to an
could-
interview before?
It seems that your new friends kind of bypassed it, if this is a matter of knowing the right people. Clearly I do not. And
Yeah,
the
we do
scowl
like that
on
better.
your friend is clearly telling me that perhaps I should just leave.
Oh, she just looks like that.
Dear me.
But I don't like your attitude. So, yes.
Fine. I'll be gone then.
Bye.
Before you
Have a
go,
wonderful time. Hmm?
I'm gonna get right up in his face. Have you ever killed anyone, Ralphie?
I sure have.
Did they
Did you
deserve
enjoy
it?
it?
I don't think that you can take much enjoyment from taking a life, but
He's
In
not suited to
different
us.
the process is fun. End result, not so much.
This is pointless because I know what my modifier is. Can I please roll an insight check?
Yeah, sure.
Lights are off.
You also see a significant lack of the zone of truth impacting him, so like you can't read him without actively doing it.
Come on. Just
I was
one
gonna-
time.
I was gonna ask to insight check too. Do you want me to just give advantage to Terra, or should we
Yeah,
do
sure.
them individually?
It's up to you. If you want to do them individually, I'm happy with that as well.
I think you should have the advantage. For reasons.
That's also fine.
I'm happy to do that if you want.
Better this way.
It's better this way. Okay, the first one was a 15 and the second one was a 7. So that is a 25.
25. It is enough to know that. Well, like, I guess if you're just trying to get a read on the guy, he looks like he's having fun here.
I kind of want to know specifically if he just admitted to thinking that torture was fun, but murder was but death is not.
Okay, the vibe with that sentence wasn't like torture is really fun. It's more he enjoys battle but doesn't enjoy death.
Whoa, that's very different. Okay.
Yeah, that's a completely different vibe. It's not like he's sitting there with like people secretly in his basement or anything. It's just he clearly enjoys the act of battling, but not the killing.
As someone
part of
who's
it.
had people in her basement, that's not necessarily a check in the away.
But I more meant like, you know, you might get like, you get unsettling vibes from him for sure, but not in a, this guy definitely has people in his basement. You more get, this guy could have people in his basement and I'd believe it.
Okay. Am I allowed to add on to that insight check? Do I believe that he came over here because he saw us like yelling about being here? Or do I think he has some kind of ulterior motives?
You definitely feel like, just like with anyone in the world, that everyone has an ulterior motive. This wasn't a guy that was just sitting around waiting for the next paycheck. This guy obviously has some kind of plan. You don't know what that is, but you definitely know that it existed before he heard you speak and came over here. Just for whatever reason, he's decided you're the best course of action.
I would like to put his face in my book of things that I scribble, just in case we see him again.
Sure.
But I'm happy for him to go now. Oh no, wait, no, I'm not. He didn't answer my question. He answered, do you enjoy killing people? He did not answer, did they deserve it?
Yeah, okay. I forgot about that one. I actually didn't hear that one.
No, we spoke at exactly the same time. It's fine.
Right. So, yeah, as you ask that question, he turns his head to you and he just says, most. Not all of them.
Well, see, now I asked extra questions and I don't know how to go back to, I don't like your attitude, sir. Fuck off.
So yeah, you wait for a moment and then he just have a lovely day and just goes back. And you see, instead of returning to the crowd, he instead heads outside. And like out of the bar and whatnot. But now you're left with Temi and Attenborough ready to discuss, talk, I don't know, whatever you decide to do.
Like him. So, you two, ever killed anybody?
Nope.
No.
Ever gotten into a particularly vicious bar fight?
No. Not quite. No.
Would you
Strong
like to?
sense of justice?
Yes. Yes, very much so. I wouldn't mind getting into a bar fight, just friendly though.
Shadow just
Why
like
are you
slaps
here?
Attenborough's head, just like trying to get his attention.
What? What?
Just motions towards them.
Well, everything's fine.
What are you doing here?
Me?
Both of you, all of you.
Everybody. Well, I'm here to see if I can find a cure for the cat. And he's leading me to you guys, so I guess it will make a very interesting chapter in my life.
Yeah. Can't argue with that.
Them's the breaks.
Well, I am on a quest of sorts, and as I assume you're well traveled, maybe you might be able to help me find something that I'm looking for.
What are you looking for?
More mushrooms, actually.
Oh, we come across a surprisingly high level of those.
Incredible.
Really more
around
than
this
you would
area, there
think.
are so many. So many. I'll show one. There was like the really big cat and the flat one. It's like, check this one out.
Oh,
Crazy, just like your
beautiful.
hat. Big.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The particular mushroom that I'm looking for it glows, I believe.
Oh, I've seen glowing mushrooms.
Well, I might be of use to you outside of that, but yeah, that's why I was interested in you.
Oh no, I meant that as a... Maybe we can help you because we've seen glowing mushrooms and you want a glowing mushroom. Not as a, we don't need you because we've already seen glowing mushrooms.
Oh dear.
Temi's
I
charisma is so low, so she is so awkward.
Oh god.
It's at this
I-
point as well that suddenly you feel a presence behind you, Terra and G. Actually, sorry, G and Friend with highest perceptions that are like
Terra's vibing.
near or over 20. Sorry, Terra, you see nothing. But Friend specifically, you spot this because out of the shadows emerges a tall elven figure, pointing what looks to be a tuning fork of sorts directly to the pendant that Iluana gave you that is sitting within your chest. And your chest pendant thing begins to glow as this tuning fork is pointed towards you, and this figure steps from the shadows. Eludere. What do you look like currently?
I think she would have put her hood down, so she looks like her.
Okay, sure. Yes.
Just. He's still conducting interviews.
Yes.
Wait, we all see her now, right?
Correct. You see a drow figure approaching you from the shadows.
Jesus Christ almighty, where did you come from? My god. Hey, chill here.
I assure you I've been here the whole time.
Oh, that oh, I need more. I need to
Were
I
you
need more
spying
things
on
to
us?
calm down.
I mean, if you think that observation is spying, I wasn't.
That's what people usually say when I observe them without them knowing. They call it spying. We're okay with spying though.
Well, I'm no longer, if that's of any which way or another.
You want to be our friend?
Do you have a name before we adopt?
Is this?
Do you want to be our friend?
Look out, it is Costco pizza.
Is this campaign recruitment or is this friendship recruitment? I didn't really ascertain that from the flyer.
Oh,
Right.
Bit of both.
It's better if we trust each other, so both.
Well, my name's Eludere, Eclipane Lunalatus.
hello. I'm
Yes.
friend.
Friend.
Yes, so from what I've gathered, friend Temi, Attenborough. Don't know if you two mentioned your names.
They're rude.
It just hasn't come up. I'm Lady Brightside. I'm having a crisis over whether I'm still Lady Brightside. Just right at this moment, because I hadn't thought of it until just now.
Pen.
That last part didn't come out of her mouth, but you can probably see it on her face.
Just caller G. I'll hold out my hand for a handshake. If we're doing full names, Terra Zaleas Thunder.
Pleasure. And she'll shake Terra's hand, and if G has any kind of, not hand outreached, but like not just directly at her side, after the handshake, Eludere will like move her hand under as well and pull her hand up and kiss the top of her hand and to say, forgive me, I didn't realize we were in the presence of a lady.
Terra about to throw hands.
My.
She will kind of
Probably.
still having an internal crisis, just like nod her head. Like,
It
yes,
is
that's
very-
a polite thing to do. Holy shit.
For Terra's benefit, it is very formal. Like, it's not like a like fluttery eyelashes looking up. It is like a like bow, kiss the top of the hand.
There's probably a split second where Terra's like the you've been seen noise in like Metal Gear, like, you know, bring, like, you know. Okay, yep, we're
The
fine.
sword starts to unsheath and then like resheaths the blade.
The Vorpal blade demands blood.
Oh my god.
Well, Eludere, what would you say your purpose in life is?
Well, does one have to be confined to a single purpose?
You can give us a list if you want.
I have many purposes, and multiple would align with what you've outlined on the flyer. Safe to say.
You want to be our friend.
It is a generous offer. It depends if you're still recruiting.
Friend will look at the others in a very, can we keep them all way?
Imagine that I know how to speak words in English that make sense. There is still the fighting part of the interview process before we formally integrate these humans. Not humans, people. In a way that friend understands that makes a bit more sense than what I'm like. I'm trying to convey something, but my brain has gone.
Well, we are. I apologize for the intensity of the questions. And I'll kind of look between the three of them. The reason is out of necessity. Agreeing to join us would not be without significant personal risk, but if you help us, we help you. No matter what. so there is still the tournament, but I have a good feeling.
Just because I asked everybody else, I'm going to ask Elvia, have you ever killed anybody?
Yes.
Did you like it?
I wouldn't say like it, but it was necessary, and I don't feel like that's a reason to regret it then.
That's a pretty good answer.
Yeah, that's a tick.
Certainly better than I enjoy it. Well, I honestly mostly gave the gold to stand over here so that we were away from everybody else. Shall we have a drink?
Yes.
I'll pay. I'm not gonna offer.
Yes.
and-
I'm gonna lean over to friend and be like, if you're making friends with mushrooms, perhaps you don't drink mushroom juice.
I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay. Maybe don't make eye contact.
With which eye?
Any of them.
Is there anyone else? Anything else that anyone wants to say?
I think we're pretty happy to go for a little sip.
Yes,
Right.
Eludere has
Queens.
just been like on and off, like outside of addressing specific people that have been talking to her. She's been side-eyeing friend the whole time, but she won't say anything.
One of friend's eyes.
Oh my god!
Actually, that's a good point. Did she walk out of the shadows? Did we see her pointing a thing
You
at
saw
friend?
her
Friend did.
pointing a tuning fork. Well, you and friend saw her pointing a tuning fork directly towards Iluana's pendant that friend has in their chest.
Yeah, in that case, probably one last thing before we go to go get a drink. Actually, two last things. I want to know if everybody is staying here, and secondly, what was that you were pointing at friend when you arrived?
I mean, it was tuning fork.
Are you going to eat me?
Not that
That's-
kind of fork. They're usually for
Yeah.
music and detection.
Oh.
No, I'm not going to eat you. It just shows that you're of interest.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your fork likes me.
It resonates with you, so that is akin to liking, I guess.
Okay.
And is everybody else staying at this tavern?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Is it awful? Is it nice accommodation? Should we look anywhere else?
I'm going to level with you. It's a fight club. I don't know what you expect.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Do you know if there's anywhere nicer? I guess we should probably all stay together.
It's big. I like it.
You haven't even seen the rooms yet. You don't know if you like it. It smells like sweat and blood.
It's clean and it's comfortable enough.
My room doesn't smell like blood and sweat.
Is that good or bad?
Very good. If you want to come to my room, then have a look before you decide. I'm not selling this place, but
Are you sure?
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
You come
Not
to my
sell
room?
it.
Smell it?
Let's go to my room.
Come to my room. Smell it.
How smell?
Do you appreciate the aroma? The bouquet of the room, as it were?
I mean,
But yes, if you go to do any of that later as well, you kind of have a bit of a look around and you see that the tavern itself is like, even though it is a fight club, there's a lot of money that gets put into the fight clubs. There's a lot of money that comes out of people betting and all of that kind of thing. So like, this isn't like a cheap place, but it's definitely like, you know, it would be considered like modest in terms of its offerings. It's nice, it's clean, it doesn't smell like anything in the rooms specifically, but it's not like fancy, wealthy accommodation. So as you go to have your drinks at the table, and that will be the point where we leave off for next week, I just want to leave you all with the image of everyone with their drinks at the table, Friend and Temi sitting there with their mushroom juices, and Toddlington just like 1,000 yards staring directly into this juice, just like, oh my god.
Helicopters and tanks.
It's just
delicious mushroom blood.
But yes, so for everyone in chat, that was the first episode of the Book Club 2nd edition. We will be back every Tuesday at the same time. We'll be a little bit more prepared next week. It's just that it's first time, so we have lots of stuff that we needed to organize. But I don't want to promise anything, but we're pretty good with being on time. Yeah, that's the promise I'm making here. Pretty good doesn't mean always. Anyway. So I'm BurrowsRed. I'm the Dungeon Master for tonight. We have some amazing players with us tonight as well. First up, we have Terra, played by Friendoboi.
Hello. Oh, good. I'm not muted before I started talking. That would be a good thing to check before I open my mouth. Hi, I'm Friendo. I played. That makes it sound like I died. I play
Wrecked in
Terra, the
pieces.
half-elf paladin, Oath of Vengeance. I know how to speak words. Thanks for hanging out. This was really fun. It was more than I'd ever hoped for. I'm so happy. Oh, I'm so happy. Thanks for being here, and Mel, go.
Sorry, I was yelling at Alchemy. Hello, I am Maleficent. I am a streamer and a cosplayer, and I really like D&D. I'm very excited to be back for part 2. What am I supposed to say now? I don't know.
What do you do? Where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter. I'll be back on Twitch again soon. Do a lot of shit on TikTok. If you're gonna call me cringy, you can fucking die. Because I'm a very cringy person and I have been literally my entire life. That's it. Come be cringe with me.
Can I also point out as well, Mel does some really excellent G TikToks, which are relevant to the campaign. So, like, you know,
Sometimes.
you get some insight. Well, sometimes. Sometimes it's just the one that you released today, which just, you have to see
I just
it.
pick things sometimes that are like, this reminds me of bards, and I'm a bard, so I have a I will fuck your mum joke currently up on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I have a podcast with Burrows, which we've been on a little bit of a hiatus, but we are planning on being back fairly soon.
It's a problem with being busy people.
Mm.
But yes, next up we have Attenborough, played by Chips.
Hi, I'm Chips, and I'm going through phases. I think I have the highest amount of stonks. I think it's the mustache. I think I need to
It's so powerful.
I need to start worrying about if it's ever gonna come off now.
Oh no.
Moustache tattoo. Honestly, the vibes are immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Oh my god. What was I supposed to be talking about? There might be times that it's going to be interesting trying to be a man druid and a cat. So that would be so exciting. I'll see you all next Tuesday. To find me, you can find me on Spotify, CarubiChips. Got some sick dudes.
Hell yeah.
Um,
Oh, wait, hang on.
Holy crap!
Oh, I get delivery of food. Thank you.
I was like,
God,
the door is
that
opening in the background.
Thank you, love. Thank you.
Shout out to Well Spoken Bergen.
For sure. He's a wonderful human being. But sorry, yes, you were saying?
Dude. Oh no, you can find me on Spotify, Amazon Music, whatever. I am planning to make more music, so stay tuned till the next episode.
Yes, the music that you hear now is all done by CarubiChips as well. So very important. Also, if you do !music, that comes up with Twitch. Chips's links as well.
We already did that.
I think it's
It's
because it was
already been
capitalized.
done.
I was very confused because immediately after it is like 10 different exclamation marks, so I got very overwhelmed.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's
I
not
live
your-
in caps lock.
I know the feeling. So do I. But next up we have Friend, played by CatRoulette.
I'm
Sorry.
yawning. Hello. I'm not yawning. I'm Kat. Or Jimmy. I'm an artist and I did all the art for the channel. I hope that you like it. Especially our brand new characters, who are all very cute and I love them a lot. Also, I don't know if anyone noticed, but we have a slight update to our overlay font-wise. And we have a new font that I'm very excited about because it's super cute. Yeah. I'm not really streaming at the moment, but if you want to see my gay little arts, you can find them on Twitter, where I post them regardless of whether people want to see them or not.
We always do want to see them.
Without context.
Next up we have Temi, played by PastelSparkles.
Hello, it's me. I am on the internet as PastelSparkles. What do I do, you say? Not a lot. I stream. You can catch me on stream playing Mass Effect right now. It's very thirsty and very heartbreaking, much like today. And yeah, I love everyone here. I don't know what else to say. I do some things sometimes, and sometimes I'm here. Hi. Okay, bye.
You don't worry, you'll get better at talking about yourself. I still do
Never.
it badly, and I've done it for 2 years, so it's all good. But next up,
That actually wasn't particularly positive. You'll get better. I still suck.
No
I love it.
defecation in the
I love it.
chat.
We're constantly improving. Was what I meant.
But maybe after 2 years, you'll still suck.
I still
Say
suck
something nice
after
about
2
yourself.
years. Anyway, next up we have
Okay.
Eludere, played by Ali.
Bye everyone. I'm Alishiera. This is Jack, who is definitely just here to try and steal his brother's biscuits, which are on their side table. I am a variety streamer for Legacy Esports. I do so much random stuff. Tomorrow I'll be making fruit out of polymer clay. Why? Because it's my stream and that's what I decided I'm doing tomorrow. So here's a sneak preview of a raspberry that I made that I'm not going to make the camera focus on. There's cats and it's a good time, and I'm glad that I'm back playing D&D with my good close friends because this is very fun and I love it a lot.
And yes, last but certainly not least, wow, I said that about myself. Wow, look, it's almost like I'm improving. Being very silly. I am BurrowsRed. I stream and I also do stuff for. I have a website. That's the one. Fucking hell, that took me a second. I do all sorts of stuff. You should check it out. It's fucking cool. Cost me a lot of money. But I think it's really cute. I've suddenly forgotten how to speak to myself about myself as well. I will also have the newest Mellow app out soon, so Blame me. Huh. But anyway, that has been the first episode of the second edition book club. I am very, very excited for the upcoming weeks. Just again, a reminder, we do stream these on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Adelaide time. And we will be doing so from now on. If you join the Discord, you can keep up with all of the updates. We also do Thursday D&D questions, which is where we answer questions about our D&D characters. And also you can answer your own in fun, cool, quirky things that we say. Mel actually has some really great ideas. The last couple of weeks have been a time. But now you'll also get a small little insight into our own characters as well as we answer those questions. So definitely a good place to be. Other than that, I think at this stage...
I like to try and make people cry.
Yeah, for sure.
I like to cry.
Giving us an opportunity to share our pain is a great time. But I do just want to say as well, if you have enjoyed this first episode, the best way to support us in that is to tell everyone about it. So feel free to, over the next couple of days, we'll be releasing more information about our new friends through the form of our little character posts. Interact with those, share those around, and it helps us out. Helps us beat algorithms and computers and just say fuck you to bots, is how that goes. But also you get to see some really amazing art too, so honestly it just works well for everyone. But anyway, we're gonna go and say hello to someone who is... Okay, I looked at this before and I needed to actually give it a proper look, but it looks like... It says combat and conflict. I think they're doing like some kind of like prep session. From the look of it, it is like a prep for a D&D session, which looks like it'll be really fun. It's someone we haven't gone to before, so let's go and say hey. We know that you're all wonderful. Send your doots in chat if you have them. If you don't have them, some kind of musical or magical emote will do fine there as well. But otherwise, appreciate your faces. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next Tuesday. Bye. Drink.